This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky and I'm here with Jess Perkins and Matt Stewart.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Dave. Hi.
That
Hello.
third hi was for everyone else, not included.
Oh.
Greg in the corner there.
I think you're going to go through every listener. Greg, Jerry, Jessica, Sandra.
Well, you didn't let me finish. Greg in the corner there. Sandra up in the crawl space above us.
Oh, God.
Is that what that is?
It's very hot. She should not be up there.
Sandra, who's milking a cow.
I mean, you already said Sandra.
Is she milking the cow?
Oh, there's one Sandra in the world.
Is she milking the cow in the crawl space?
Yeah, you're right. I'm the idiot.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
all I was asking for.
Finally got it on tape.
Oh, there's the only one Sandra in the world. Oh, that's my impression of Matt.
That was good. Spot on.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I thought
How are you talking
that
to
was
yourself?
playback.
How are you talking to yourself then, Matt?
Oh, this is my impersonation of Matt.
Is that your
That
impersonation?
was really good.
Yeah.
Is that your impersonation of Jess doing an impersonation of Matt?
No, that was me talking.
Oh, my God. I closed my eyes and I got confused.
Oh, my God. That's my impression of Dave.
Dave, you can't impress of yourself.
Yeah.
You can't impress of yourself,
I-
as I always say.
If I did an impression of myself, it would go a little something like this. Hello.
Oh.
Is that off?
No,
I don't buy
I
it.
don't hear it.
I don't buy it.
hear it.
Great to be here back in the studio after having some good fun in Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide.
Adelaide, more like Adelaide, fun place to be.
Adelaide Tourism Board, if you want to get in contact with us, Matt can write your slogans.
Matt, how much are you going to charge to write a slogan?
70,
70
100.
$100?
I'll accept your offer.
He's a good negotiator.
Yeah, he is. And a good copywriter.
Hey, I tell you what, we had so much fun in Adelaide. Why don't we do it again in Melbourne, but 4 times?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
On Saturday afternoons, I've enrolled us in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, late entry.
Oh, is this like a school?
Yeah, we go to school.
Yeah, we will be studying between 3 and 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Starting
I like that.
not this weekend, the weekend after on March 30.
I like an hour of study a week.
Yeah,
That's
but on
good.
Saturday, that's when the bad kids are at school.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is a detention in a way. And but tickets are on sale if you want to watch us do our homework live on stage. They
We're
will
going to reenact the Breakfast Club. I'm going to be the one with red hair.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be the jock. You're the little
Ooh.
nerd weirdy
I'm gonna
one.
be-
You're Emilio Estevez, I believe.
Yep.
I'm also the jock.
Ooh, double jock.
Like
Oh, that
the-
makes sense.
Second jock.
So I think Jess will play the body of the jock, and you can maybe play, like, all of you squished down together in a big coat. You can play the head.
Right, so the head is wearing a big coat.
Yeah, a scarf.
The 80s, fashion in the 80s was very different.
That's what Matt calls a scarf. I'm just going to
Neck
put on my
coat.
big neck coat. Keep me toasty.
Yeah, well played.
I'll chuck on my feet coats.
Yep.
And I'll be ready. Just tie them up with these laces.
Foot coats,
Foot coats.
shoe coats.
But we are doing 4 shows at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival at the European Beer Cafe starting not this weekend, the weekend after. And we're going right through every Saturday, 4 in a row. Going to be a great time. We're only going to release probably 2 out of the 4
At least one, probably 2.
on the Patreon feed. So if you want to see them all, if you want to hear them all and see them all, come along.
Yes, and I was talking to a guy named Nick Mason. He
What?
showed,
Who?
he showed an interest of jumping up one of those episodes. I probably should have told you guys this
This is news to us.
off mic. Anyway, that's something we could do if we want.
I like that sizzle. Now I'm excited.
I'm
But
excited for the
which day should we release the Mason?
I'm excited for the prospect of not having to do any work that episode.
Right, because he is very funny. He's very quip funny.
Yeah.
He's the quippiest in town.
Yeah.
Will we make him write the report as well, you're saying?
100%.
God, that'd be amazing. We'd have to do one each.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't thinking we'd do that.
I was actually going to get Matt to write mine.
Fair call.
So,
I'm a fantastic copywriter.
is that cool?
Yeah,
Sick.
I can cut and paste off Wikipedia for you. It probably won't be as good a quality as mine because my heart won't be in it.
Yeah, that's about right. My reports aren't as
I'll
good
send
as
you a-
yours
I'll send you
because
a
your
link.
heart isn't in it.
I'll send you a link to a Wikipedia page. There you go.
And I'll say, you are a lifesaver.
Now, we must go on the record that we do more than Wikipedia research.
That's right. There's a
some
little
people are
dagger in
surprised. I
Dave's
know.
heart every time
Oh,
there's a comment about it's a Wikipedia podcast. Dave's like, no, it's not. It's not.
No, that hurts so good.
I mean, there's definitely some YouTube in there as well.
Yeah, a YouTube podcast, that at least sounds high tech.
Yeah.
And biographies.com.
Oh, yeah. I love biographies.com.
Britannica.
I love Britannica. I'm also a big fan of...
What was the Al something that you...
Oh, yeah.
you used
Alcation.
Alcation. Alcation. Listening back to last month's Patreon episode about Scotland. Yeah, your
I was
two
big on
sources.
Alcation.
One was the BBC and the other was Alcation.
Oh, yeah. BBC's good too.
Two of the big ones.
Big
Two
fan of
the big
BBC,
ones.
ABC. Any of the BCs. Love them.
He's old school.
Yeah.
He's BC.
Yeah, I love the before Christian era. BCE. Let's modernize.
Before Common Era.
Fuck.
God, you're an idiot.
Sorry, everybody. Hey, I'm also doing a show at the Comedy Festival at, I think right now I might be in the Brisbane Comedy Festival. Dave, is that right? Am I up in Brisbane right now?
Yes, I can see you.
Am I via satellite link?
Yeah. Coming through loud and clear.
So I'm on in a pretty small room there, so potentially you already sold out these shows. I have no idea, but
I assume he's
close.
just was a bit like, oh, lardy fucking da.
All right, Captain Bragg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty small room, only 400 people, so I've probably sold out in my whole run.
Am I there? I don't even know the dates.
I don't
Who
even know.
cares?
Dave, you
I've
might
probably
be-
sold every available ticket. No big deal.
You're doing 22 at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. I assume 21 are sold out. What's the non-sold out night?
Oh, probably a Wednesday. Please do come along to both of those shows, and also in Sydney at the Sydney Comedy Festival, and you can find out all about those shows. Bone dry at mattstewartcomedy.com/gigs. But yeah, Brisbane, I'm being a bit facetious. There's probably a good chance there's tickets available, so I'd love to see you there.
There's also a good chance they're completely sold out. So if you want to get tickets, jump on them quick.
Brisbane's a shorter run in a smaller room. So
Here we
anyway,
go. Just
And he's
backpedaling.
he's a
backpedaling.
massive star,
yeah, I shine very bright.
like a diamond.
Yeah.
Or a little diamond
Shine
boy.
bright like a diamond. Anyway, let's do the show.
Now we've got the plugs out the way. It's time to start the show. It is my turn to report on a topic suggested by some listeners. You guys don't know what I'm going to talk about. Now, I put this up to...
No, Dave, we don't care what you're going to talk about.
Sorry,
Similar yet different.
always misinterpret that. But I put this one up to the Patreon vote. It's my turn at the moment to have nearly all the patrons voting on my topic. And I said it would be a musical topic because you guys have done a lot of musos between you. We've done the Beatles, we've done Bowie, Johnny Cash,
Pantera.
We did
Tism.
Rihanna was recently from Naomi. I don't think I've done a musical one. So I've
Elton
decided-
John.
Elton John.
Freddie Mercury. I've done a lot of music.
Yeah, you've done a lot of musical ones, but I don't think I have. So I put 3 muso topics up, over 500 votes.
Whoa.
The difference between first and second, 6 votes.
Whoa.
It was
okay.
so tight.
That is so tight.
And this is...
The story of a girl.
Crown of
Let her
river
run down the whole world. And why she looks so bad. Good photographs. Absolutely love her when she smiles.
Is it about that song?
Yeah, we've ruined it. I was going to tell that story, but really draw it out.
Why
a lot.
tell it when you can sing it?
Yeah.
A 2, 3, 4.
All right, my question for
Sing,
you
don't
is...
show.
Because we do get onto the topic with a question if you are new here.
If
The
we
question is...
ever get onto topic.
What is Fleetwood Mac's best-selling album?
Rumours.
It is Rumours. Mac got that straight away.
Sorry, that's top 10 all-time high selling.
Absolutely, it is.
And yeah, that's maybe even top 5. It's super, super big.
I believe it is currently number 8 best-selling album of all
it's
time.
a lot like greatest hits. People would know most songs without necessarily. I've not really listened to a lot of Fleetwood Mac, but I know so many of their songs. And your mate Neil Finn's in them now. Is he your mate?
Why is he my mate?
Paul
I'll
Kelly's
take
your
him.
mate, and he's
Yeah.
mates with Paul Kelly.
So he's
So
a friend
by-
of a friend.
by
friend of a friend.
association.
Yeah.
I do love Neil Finn.
Yes. Same.
So Fleetwood Mac has been suggested by a few people, and I've decided to hone in on their most famous and probably craziest recording story for Rumours, which we will get to, but it's suggested by Kieran from the south of England, Mimi Zhang from Edmonton, Alberta in Canada, Sean Lanigan from Derry, McKenna Middlebrook from Potsdam, New York, Mitchell Simpson from Christchurch in New Zealand, and Abby Mylock from New York, who suggested I do Rumours. Not everyone else said Fleetwood Mac, but she said talk about Rumours. So I'm doing it, Abby.
Nice.
I shouldn't be surprised by the quality of names, but yet again, they have delivered, especially Mimi Zhang.
I
Holy
know,
moly.
love that. Oof.
They were all fantastic, though.
Fantastic.
Thanks to
Fantastic
all
names.
these absolute legends. So, you've heard Rumours then, Matt?
Yeah, I've heard a rumor. I heard a rumor. Is that off that?
I've heard rumours.
You've heard Rumours?
about
You have
you.
Fleetwood Mac about me. What have you heard? Because if it's sexy, it's true.
It's definitely not. It's the opposite of sexy.
Oh, okay. That sounds very unlike me. Don't know why people are spreading unsexy rumours about me.
Yes, I've heard Rumours by Fleetwood Mac.
Are you guys Mac? So you're not a huge Mac fan?
No, I'm not a big Mac fan. Remember when we were in the UK and we were making a running playlist, and one of the rounds was Fleetwood Mac. Do you remember what you chose?
Oh, I think I've put Dreams in. I think, which
I'm
is
pretty
from
sure
Rumours,
I went Tusk, which is, you told me, later than
you
Rumours.
the follow-up album to
Right.
I might have gone for Never Going Back.
which is
That's your motto.
on Rumours.
Ah.
Rumours right there. So growing up, my dad, one of his favourite bands ever is Fleetwood Mac. Probably his three favourite artists are Deep Purple, Elton John,
Yes.
Fleetwood Mac. Growing up, I did not enjoy any of them.
Right.
Put it on in the car in long trips and I'd be like, oh my God. No, I'm an adult.
That's a great top three.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm an adult, a fan of all three, particularly this album, Rumours. And a few years ago, there was something on at the Melbourne Fringe, and I knew someone that was producing a show that they had different musos interpreting every song from Rumours, because it was, I think, the 40th anniversary a couple of years ago. And we went along to it. Took my dad.
Awesome.
What a bonding experience.
Beautiful. Did he shed a tear and say, I love you, son?
In spirit.
Because that would have made Jess furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have hated that.
I would have had to have a word.
Your dad's
I
soft.
would have been like, give me his address. I'm just going to pay him a visit. I'm not going to hurt him on the outside.
Jess hates emotions.
I'm going to hurt him on the inside.
With emotion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something you hate.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt yourself as well.
Yeah.
Take him out with you. But do you know much about the recording of Rumours? Because it's quite famous for the fact that it was a bit of a tumultuous time in the band. And despite that, they came out the other side with the 8th best-selling album of all time.
Yeah.
I know a bit about the spreading of rumours.
Ooh.
I went to an all-girls school. Yeah, a lot of that. A lot of looking at people as they walk past you, like, that's her. You know?
That's her.
Yeah.
A lot of head pointing.
Yeah. Oh, so much.
Lot of head
Don't look,
pointing.
don't look.
So much passive aggression. So, yeah, I know a thing or two about rumours.
I only vaguely know that there were relationships in the band and they maybe were going sour around this time.
Oh, is that an understatement? It's a crazy story, and we're going to get into it. But to give some background here, Fleetwood Mac first formed in London in 1967, and they were initially a blues band.
67. Oh, I wish it was 2 years later.
I wish it was a year before so they could have shared the year with the Saints' premiership success of 1966.
But no, you don't want to. The Saints deserve that all to themselves.
That's true. That's true. I'm glad nothing else big happened that year.
Nothing.
Beatles didn't release any sort of classic albums.
Nope.
England didn't win any big
Nope.
soccer trophies.
They've never won any big soccer trophies.
No, they've never brought anything home, as far as I can remember.
So they were initially a blues band. Guitarist Peter Green was the guitarist for a blues act called John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, where he'd replaced a young Eric Clapton. The bass player of the band was John McVie, and the drummer was a man called Mick Fleetwood.
Huh.
No relation.
Any coincidence?
Imagine.
to you?
Yeah, so I've got to point out which one of these people are related to me.
Yeah.
It's easy to say who isn't.
Yeah.
Right. Fair.
Peter Green and Mick Fleetwood had previously played together in a band called Shotgun Express that featured a young Rod Stewart on vocals.
Geez, there was a lot of cross-pollination
Yeah,
of
and like-
English rock bands.
And
back
a lot
then.
of the vibe is happening here that there's a lot of future rock and pop legends
Right.
sort of all working it out.
But all choosing real shitty band names.
Shotgun Express.
Horrendous.
John Mayall and the Blues Breakers.
And we love it, Enda, but that
Yeah.
sucks.
The Blues Breakers.
Why are you breaking the blues?
Oh, God.
The Ball Breakers, that's something.
Unless they mean like
Yeah.
blues, like I've got the blues, like depression.
Yeah. So I'm breaking that. I'm getting happy again.
Yeah, in that case, I'm on board.
But is that a good name for a blues
We don't know
band?
the context.
That's true.
Yeah, that's right. A formerly blue band. Inspired by the success of Cream, the Yardbirds, and Jimi Hendrix, 3 of the members of the Blues Breakers, Peter Green, Mick Fleetwood, and eventually John McVie decided to break away from Mayall in 1967. They formed a band with Jeremy Spencer, and Green one day quipped that they should call the band Fleetwood Mac, named after combining the names of drummer Mick Fleetwood and bassist John McVie.
Okay.
So he suggested we should name it after you two.
Yeah.
Why? You know, I'd be like, get a piece of me in there too.
Yeah, I think they thought
What was it?
a
Yeah.
little bit strange.
Fleetwood Green
Fleetwood
sounds good.
Sounds pretty good.
But maybe he was just a modest guy.
Nah, I don't trust him.
Was
Oh,
that-
you reckon what was his play there? What do you reckon he was up to?
He's up to no
no
good.
good.
Okay. Well, he did put his name onto the band a little bit. In 1968, the band released their debut album, and it was called Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, right.
So the only one missing out
That
there is
sucks.
Jeremy Spencer, the other guitarist, is a bit like, I'm also in the band.
Yeah, so it's there's a little bracket that says
And
Featuring
Jeremy.
Feet Jeremy.
And then in the picture,
Jeremy's here too.
the rest of the band's in a poster, but he's sort of breaking through it with his hands on spirit fingers. And Jeremy.
Classic Jeremy.
It was an instant success, this album, in the UK. It was in the top 10 for most of that year and sold
Really?
very, very well. But it was largely unnoticed in the USA.
So I didn't realize that they're British.
Yes.
Do they bring in American members?
Yeah,
You're going to
so
tell
that's
us all
why-
this real
yes.
soon. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Jess.
Shut the fuck up.
But at this time, they were 100% made in the UK.
Right.
Their second album, Mr. Wonderful,
Ugh.
still a blues album,
Yuck.
but they added in horn sections and their friend. What were you thinking? They added in their
Horn.
horny spirit. It was a lot more sexual, this song.
It was very horny.
Yeah, they became a ska band.
Louis Armstrong.
I'm pretty sure she's doing the Full House theme when she scats.
Oh, I'm scarring.
Oh, you're scarring. Sorry. Scarting. Scarting your pants.
Oh, keep your scar to yourself. Give her a cloth. All right. They added in horn
Gonna
sections.
need a bigger cloth. I don't know what that is. Sort of like a Jaws reference for some reason.
But like in a British
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
the Fleetwood Mac
There's a lot
version
going on there.
of Jaws.
Yeah, a lot, and also not a lot going on there.
If Jaws was set in England and they needed to clean up a big mess, I think it would sound a little something like this.
I would have been a big Vegas comic in the 80s.
So a little something like this. We're going to need a bigger cloth, governor. Thank you. Thank you.
And a standing ovation. Bow, accept flowers. Drive off in your Lamborghini.
Kiss nearest beautiful lady.
He's looking at it like a checklist in his hand. All right, who's up? So they added in horn sections and their friend Christine Perfect played piano. She became close to the band, in particular bassist John McVie, whom she married in 1968 and became Christine McVie.
Oh, that's so much better. And I didn't think you could get better than perfection.
Yeah.
But Christine McVie is better.
Good, great, perfect, McVie.
She sort of also married into naming rights of the band.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's now half of the band. Now there's 2 members that it's named after, the Mac bit.
And they've dropped the top half,
Peter Green.
Peter Green.
Yeah, so that was just the name of the album, but the
Right.
band was always Fleetwood Mac.
That's a real weird name for an album. I guess in his mind, he's like, who knows how long this will last?
Yeah.
We'll probably never make
Like-
a top 10 all-time selling album.
I mean, my last band was called Shotgun Express. Who cares?
Nothing could be worse.
Checkmate. Singer and songwriter Peter Green started to suffer mentally after ingesting way too many hallucinogenic drugs and left the band claiming he was going to give away all of his earnings. And he sort of just disappeared.
Okay.
Well, not fully disappeared, but sort of just left. That
Oh,
was
he
it.
didn't just evaporate.
No.
We're not idiots, Dave.
We have done full reports about people disappearing. What's that guy?
The evaporating couple.
Yeah,
The first Christmas time.
the 27 Club. The
Oh,
Manic Street Preachers guy that literally has never been seen.
yeah, that's true. That does happen, Jess. People do go missing.
Sure. But they're not a pot of hot water that just evaporates.
Well, pots of hot water also do.
Wow. Good point. I stand
The
corrected.
hotter, the more likely it will evaporate.
Once I injected too many hallucinogenics. Is that the word? And they hallucinogens. And my pot of hot water said, "I'm out of here," and it evaporated. So, do with that what you will.
How'd you cook your sketty?
I said, "I'm going to need a bigger cloth for some reason." I was high as a kite. I was saying anything.
That's when we knew you were high. He's cooking dinner. I'm going to need a bigger cloth.
All right, we're going to need Uber Eats because Matt's going to be in there a while and no food is coming out.
Looks like he's spilled his hot tea on the floor
He is
and he's losing it.
He's crying about it.
Jess is furious.
I'm mad. Don't feel anything. Idiots.
So Peter Green's gone. He's evaporated. Christine McVie, who had initially retired from the industry upon marrying John McVie, planning to live as a housewife.
I was laughing there for the record at Jess's face.
Oh, why? What was the face I was reading?
It was just pure disappointment.
All right, so she'd initially retired from the industry, planning to live as a housewife. to
Yeah,
John
because you
McVie.
don't need to do anything because you have a husband now.
Just what
So
you got to
you don't-
understand is it was a different time.
I don't
okay,
care. It's
so-
a stupid time.
She went from housewife to being in the band full time as co-lead vocalist and songwriter.
That's quite a change.
Quite a change. John didn't write the songs, so they were like, "Oh, Peter's gone. Mick doesn't write the songs. We're going to need someone who writes the songs. Wife, put down that large cloth and come and be in the band."
Yeah. I mean, that's not fair, actually. Sorry. I get mad because that was the expectation at the time.
Right.
Now, if that's just your choice, more power to you.
You saying you're pro-choice with
Yes!
band members retiring?
I
Okay.
think anyone can do whatever they want, and you shouldn't listen to a dumb podcaster
Hey.
with a stupid opinion.
Hey.
I'm going to go too far the other way if I ever have kids and just be like, I'm going to get another job. And then I'll just never see
I'll
my
show
kid.
society.
Yeah, I'll show them. No one
Take
cares.
this, patriarchy.
No one gives a shit.
I'm going to work myself to death.
Yeah.
That'll show.
I'll show all of you.
Getting a job in a mine, 27 hours a day.
I'm never going to see my kids.
Because fuck them.
They come in like, Mummy. I'm like, don't look at me. I don't know what they look like. Literally can't see them. They evaporated.
While on tour in February 1971, so Christine's in the band now, guitarist and other vocalist Jeremy Spencer said he was going out, quote, to get a magazine, but he never returned.
It's like the deadbeat dad. He's gone to get cigarettes.
After several...
I'm going out to get a magazine. Yeah, that's it. A magazine.
Magazine also means like a bunch of bullets, doesn't it?
Oh, shit, Dave. Which one was it?
Were there any big bank robberies that weekend?
Oh, my God, Dave.
Well, after several days of frantic searching, the band discovered that Spencer had joined a religious cult, the Children of God.
That's some magazine.
He had
They
also
must have had a real great brochure.
he had also taken a lot of drugs and refused to continue touring with the band. So they're on a tour. He goes out to get a magazine. Apparently, he met someone who he just found really convincing, and he was looking for something in his life at that
Like
stage.
a charismatic cult leader.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
to this day, he still remains a member of that church.
Oh,
Oh,
How wild is that?
that's cool. That's cool. Love dedication. I love that he's still alive. Sometimes cults don't end that well.
He'd also taken a lot of drugs.
Most of the cults that we mention on this podcast do not end too well.
I know. We really should.
find a
We'll do a
nice
happy
cult.
ending.
Let's get a
cult.
good cult just so we can be like, not all cults.
Not all cults.
Hashtag.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. So now he's gone. New guitarist needed. Danny Kerwin became the other guitarist during this time, and his tenure with the band ended in 1972 when he too had a meltdown. He smashed his head into a wall, smashed his guitar, and trashed the dressing room before a gig, all because he thought one of the other members was out of tune. He refused to go on that night and just heckled the band from the mixing desk. He was fired.
Huh. Jeez.
He stayed and heckled.
Don't people deserve a second chance?
He stayed and heckled.
Yeah.
He was also whacked out a lot. Basically, they were like, he was young too. He was only 19 at the time. And they were like, he's a really talented guy. Great guitarist, but he cannot handle the rock and roll lifestyle. So now that's 3 guitarists that have all lost it.
It's starting to feel a little bit like the band from the spoof, the drummers.
Yeah, Spinal Tap.
God damn it.
Yeah, they are exploding. They keep exploding. The next guitarist, Bob Weston, was fired after he had an affair with Mick Fleetwood's wife, Jenny Boyd, whose sister Patty Boyd was married to George Harrison and would later marry Eric Clapton.
Yes.
Oh, man, she has great taste.
Yeah, amazing, right?
Go Patty. Patty
Boyd, but we're talking about
Yuck.
Jenny Boyd.
I know, but I'm just saying, Patty, I mean, she didn't name herself, but that's a terrible name, and you could change that.
I quite like it.
Patty.
Yeah.
Patty.
Yeah.
Patty.
Like a burger.
Oh, the more I say it, the more I hate it. Patty.
Beef patty.
Beef patty.
And I'm saying that, and I call you Maddie. So take from that what you will.
Patty cake.
Patty cake. You got cow patties, which is cow shit.
Oh, that's true.
On a disc.
I'm sorry.
You got
all beautiful things.
Patty Boyd.
Jenny Boyd? We're talking about Jenny Boyd?
Jenny Boyd had an affair with Bob Weston, and she was married to Mick Fleetwood. So this affair led to the cancellation of their planned US tour. Their manager wasn't happy with this and decided to continue the Fleetwood Mac tour without Fleetwood Mac.
Good.
He put together a whole new band under that name, claiming that he owned the name, so he could have. So he just put together a whole new band, and then they turned up to the gigs, and people were like, "That's not Fleetwood Mac."
What did the? I'm guessing there was a ruling saying that was not the case.
Yeah, they sued him. Yeah.
You can't just claim to own the name. That would be written down somewhere with some signatures
It's
on
like,
it.
my name is Fleetwood. I'm a Mick Fleetwood.
It does happen though. Like Little River Band, well, they all did quit it, and that was in writing in a contract. But there's a band going around America calling themselves Little River Band who don't have any original members, while the original members are like, "Oh, we'd like to be the Little River Band again," but they all quit the band. That's a real heartbreaking one, but it does sound like legally it's in black and white, unfortunately. You know about that story?
No, I do not.
Yeah, because they were about to have a big 30-year anniversary, and they were going to play on Jimmy Fallon or something. And the original members were like, "We'd prefer if you didn't have this weird cover band play on your show to celebrate when we started our band."
Oh.
Happy birthday, other guys whose name we stole. Dun, 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 dun.
You didn't write any of the songs. You're going around playing them legally with our name, and that must be frustrating.
Yeah, that's not cool.
But also, they did quit and gave up the rights to their name, so I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean, these people aren't quitting. They're just going, "Hey, that guy banged my wife. I'm not going to go on tour with him anymore."
Exactly.
And it's my band, so no one's going on tour. And the manager's like, "People won't notice.
Yeah.
They don't know what bands look like. They just have long hair in this era. Put them on. Just put on some long-haired dudes." Somehow, through all of these ups and downs, the band managed to stay together, and the different lineups released 9 albums between 1968 and 1974. So they went through all those guitarists who all lost it in different ways and left to do other things.
Did they go through a lot of songwriters as well?
Yeah, so nearly all those guitarists were the songwriters, them and Christine McVie on piano.
Right.
So John the bassist and Mick Fleetwood the drummer, they're the long-term guys, but they don't write any of the songs.
So Fleetwood's still, but Mac's gone?
No, Mac's still in there.
The 2 Macs are there.
Yeah, so basically that's all that's left now.
So all of a sudden the name seems really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're more invested because their names are in it.
True.
So they've had some success early on, and then they just kept going. And in 1974, with the hopes of restarting their career, the band moved to California. Their only remaining guitarist, Bob Welch, left that year in 1974.
He welched.
Leaving only members, drummer Mick Fleetwood, bassist John McVie, and his wife, keyboard player, vocalist, and songwriter Christine McVie. Their marriage was also incredibly strained because of John's rampant alcoholism at this time.
Oh, John.
So they're all very much living the rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like any of them are really handling it.
The rock and roll lifestyle seems like it sucks. I reckon it'd be fun for a night.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time it's like, I just want a fucking cup of tea.
I know.
And 8 hours.
Yeah, you can have that cup of tea. Just tea. You just got to have half a bottle of bourbon for it, and then you've earned yourself a cup of tea.
It does. It feels like a massive trap. Because the problem is it's all your work's at night time. So you're like, I don't have to get up. So it's just and it just rolls on over and over, and you drinking to get rid of the hangover, and it's very
just
quick.
go to sleep. Go to bed.
But apparently, like, I believe that most of the Rolling Stones don't really drink anymore. And I heard Rumours ages ago, the album. And when I heard a rumor, I don't know if this has been confirmed or not, but like Keith Richards would still be swigging from a bottle of bourbon, but it was really just tea or something in there. And they'd be sitting backstage drinking
Like,
cups
that's his
of tea.
image. Yeah, right.
But I'm pretty sure he's even said he can't really live like that anymore.
No one can.
Yeah.
Beyond the age of like 23.
You're living out this fantasy of everyone else. You're being who they need you to be.
No.
It'd be tricky.
Oh,
That's why so many people die young or seemingly.
Have I just ruined my rep then?
No, I think people knew.
Yeah, everyone knows you're weak.
I'm not weak.
So just let me have another drink of tequila.
It's not weak to not drink, Dave.
Oh, yeah. God, I love that's the good stuff. Matt's straight to the gin. Oh, yeah. Jess, she's got nothing. She's sober and a loser. Come on. Come on, Jess, get into the vibe.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
She's pretty good at avoiding peer pressure.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm actually very stubborn. So as soon as people start to peer pressure me, I buckle down.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to do it. If you like,
People
no, do it, then I'll be like, fuck you, no.
So, like, the plane starts going down. You're in the emergency room.
Yeah.
People are like, help us open the door. Well, if you're all going to tell me to do it,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
And then I put on an extra seatbelt.
You're wearing 2 seatbelts. Huh?
I
Just
sit
try and get me out of this seat.
I said their arms closed like, fuck you then. You can fuck off.
No,
Go
fuck
on.
you.
Fuck off.
No one's told you to go fuck yourself. No, fuck you. No, fuck you.
Brace? Yeah. I'm not going to brace. Wait, stop saying brace, brace, brace. I'm not doing it. You can say it as much as you like. I'm not bracing. Don't even know what it means.
I do not listen. Still, the band managed to stay together and they've moved to California, and Mick Fleetwood began the search for a new guitarist and co-lead singer. Whilst Fleetwood was scoping out South City Studios as a potential recording spot in Los Angeles, the house engineer Keith Olsen played him a track that he'd recorded in the studio. It was called Frozen Love from the album Buckingham Nicks, released in 1973. Buckingham Nicks was an album by a duo consisting of American singer-songwriters and lovers, Stevie Nicks on vocals and Lindsey Buckingham on vocals and guitars.
Guitars. Multiple guitars at once. Very impressive.
He's pretty amazing.
Plays one with his feet, one with his hands, one with his balls.
Really?
Three at a time.
wow.
That's definitely the most impressive.
All guitar.
No, the little fun fact, his balls are left-handed.
Oh.
So 2 guitars go this way and then the other one goes the other way.
Right. That's cool. That's cool for, symmetry or something.
It just looks a lot better.
It's
Yeah,
not at all
on his
symmetrical.
balls.
Yeah.
It looks better on his balls.
Rock and roll's all about the image.
Yes.
Despite the fact that Buckingham Nicks, the album, had been a flop, Mick Fleetwood liked what he'd heard and approached Lindsey Buckingham and asked if he wanted to join Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey agreed on the proviso that they also bring on board his musical partner and girlfriend Stevie Nicks.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
They were a package deal, he said.
Loyalty.
Yeah, I like that, but yeah, Stevie Nicks, she doesn't sound too good. I bet she's going to suck.
Yeah, she sucks.
I bet
That's my pick now.
They're going to rue the day.
My pick now is that Stevie Nicks sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
They made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks.
Mick did. He agreed, and now the band had 5 members. We've got Mick Fleetwood on drums, John McVie on bass guitar and rampant alcoholism, Christine McVie on piano and vocals, Lindsey Buckingham on guitar and vocals, and Stevie Nicks on vocals.
2 women in the band. Ooh, disaster. Their periods will sync up.
Oh,
And
no.
they'll both be crazy at the same
Oh,
time.
no. For a few days a month, we don't talk to them because they go
We
a
put them in a little
crazy.
cage. We lock them in a hotel room.
Yeah, they're a bit too much. Obviously, our rampant alcoholism's fine the rest of the month.
Oh, I mean, that's 31 days a month, even when the month only has 28 days.
Yeah, they
I'm
just-
drunk 31.
They fit in a couple of extra.
Wait, you said that this was going to be a report just about rumours.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
This is all a rumour.
Oh, okay, sure.
Please, Matt, come on.
Come on, man.
Sorry, I really need to grow up. I need to grow up.
We're nearly at the rumours bit, but it would have been, I mean, all that early stuff. It's so integral to the story.
Oh, I call you Matty Boy. Now I'm going to call you Paddy Boyd.
Thank you.
Yeah, shocking name, Paddy.
I-E or Y?
Double T-Y.
I'm going to call you Paddy Boyd.
Allmusic.com describes Stevie Nicks as bringing something new to the band with a, quote, a husky voice and a sexy, hippie, gypsy stage persona that gave the band a charismatic frontwoman.
No, I knew they'd rue.
Yeah.
Which I quite enjoy.
Nah, she sounds like bad news.
Stevie and Lindsay both wrote songs, and so did Christine McVie. So now the band had 3 songwriters and 3 different vocalists.
Interesting. Too many? I mean, we have 3 vocalists, and it's exhausting.
And let me just say, Barbara Ann. Oh, fucking hell. Let me hang in there. Why didn't you join in?
What happened?
You just said Barbara Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to join in, for God's sake. You guys haven't been in bands like me. I get it.
Oh, yuck.
Sorry, Weed Whacker or whatever. The Weed Whacker Express.
Weed Whacker Express is a better name than Weed Hornet. This new lineup released their first album together in 1975 called Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Sometimes referred to as the Fleetwood Mac White Album.
I like the mid-career self-titled.
Yeah. It had a much more pop-orientated sound than the earlier blues stuff and slowly became a huge hit, reaching number 1 in the USA in 1976 on the strength of the singles Over My Head and Say You Love Me, written by Christine McVie.
Love me, say that you let... That one, yeah?
Absolutely not. And Stevie Nicks penned the song Rhiannon.
Rhiannon, I never knew that a girl like you could ever look so fine. Rhiannon.
Correct?
Yes, the album sold over 5 million copies in the US alone, so it was a big, big seller. So they'd finally cracked the big time.
Here we go. Now they're going to fire Stevie Nicks.
Well, they went on.
She is trouble.
They went on an extensive tour and were now raking in the cash. So now they're quite wealthy. But there was also pressure from the record company to come up with their new album, The Next Thing.
Jeez, he's got ants in his pants, doesn't he? This record label. Man, I guess. Thanks. For the record, just give me a thumbs up.
And there was also a hell of a lot of internal pressure going on with the relationships of the band members. Here we have the famous relationship troubles that Matt alluded to.
Ooh, Matt alluded.
According to Christine, the McVies were happily married for about 3 years.
Oh.
As I said earlier, when they had initially married, she said she was going to retire from the music industry altogether. But then Peter Green left the band and she was invited to join. So now her and her husband are living and working together all the time in a very stressful but also very rock and roll job. So they're all
playing in a rock band.
yeah, well, they're all drinking, they're all doing drugs. It's a stressful.
Do you think of it as a
band.
rock and roll job?
Well, I mean, I arguably.
Yeah, on some level, surely.
It's all about the lifestyle.
That's not like podcasting, which is a real rock and roll job.
Oh, my God.
It is.
We've got Coke coming out our wazoos.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have
Put
some
it
of that?
back in there. What's
Yeah,
it doing out there?
Keeps falling out of my wazoo.
So Christine wasn't happy with her marriage, so she began an affair with Martin Birch, Fleetwood Mac's married sound engineer, in 1973. John McVie was drinking heavily by now, and she was seeing, quote, more Hyde than Jekyll.
Oh.
Ah,
Hyde's
his
the
butt.
bad one, right?
Yes, Mr. Hyde
I
is.
thought it was his butt.
Jekyll's his dick. Jekyll and Hyde. I like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So he was getting his ass out more than his dick.
Yeah.
All right, let's make love. All right, here's Mr. Hyde. All right, John, I don't know what you're
I
into.
don't- yeah.
This is not what I signed up for. Mr. Hyde.
What she doesn't know is that he lost his penis in a poker game. He hasn't had the balls, literally, to tell her.
Yeah, so now he's like, how about we try something new? Mr. Hyde. This is all I've got, Christine. This is all I've got.
Love me for me.
Get in there. Christine, who was having an affair, was pretty open about it all, and she even considered leaving the band to make a solo album with sound engineer and lover Birch. But then he went back to his wife, and she went back to John.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
Going back to someone is
Hey.
it's so romantic.
My lover left, so
I'm back, I guess. Show me your butt.
on their last tour to promote the self-titled album I was talking about earlier, Christine decided to break up with John for good. So they started divorcing in the middle of the band's tour.
They started
I
divorcing.
know, after 8 years of marriage.
Ugh. 3 good years, though.
3 good years.
5.
Not all in a row either. So
Oh, okay.
one on, one off, one on, one off, and then 2 bad ones.
Okay. As soon as we have 2 bad years,
Yeah,
we call it quits.
that's it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
She said, look, I know it's bad timing to divorce you in the middle of the tour, but I can't stand this anymore. John did not take it well and started taking more substances and displayed increasingly erratic behaviour. According to one biography, he would pace up and down the hotel corridor at night, yelling Christine's name while she hid in her room and cried.
What would he yell?
Christine! You can see why he didn't sing.
Can see why I do.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. The couple stopped talking to each other socially and discussed only musical matters.
That's good. Keep it business.
So, off stage, no chat.
yeah.
Right.
The only things they would say to each other was stuff like, sorry, what key is this song in? C? Okay.
Business,
That's it.
business.
Business. That's all they did.
Love that.
Then there was Stevie Nicks and Lindsay Buckingham, the other couple. This is a quote from Stevie Nicks. Lindsay and I were in total chaos a year before we met Fleetwood Mac. I had already moved out of our apartment a couple of times and then had to move in because I couldn't afford it. Our relationship was already in dire straits. But
See, these bands really do cross-pollinate a lot.
they're all hanging out. But if we'd broken up within the first 6 months of Fleetwood Mac, there would have been no record and we would have been in big trouble. So when we joined the band, we took the decision to hang in there. So they're staying in a relationship for the band.
So, and also, that means Buckingham cut a deal to bring in his partner who was he wasn't even getting on very well with.
So they're completely on again, off again, and apparently constantly fighting. And finally, Mick Fleetwood, who was a little bit out of a band relationship. But don't worry, he gets his own dose of turmoil because he was now divorcing his wife, Boyd. Remember, she'd had an affair with the band's earlier guitarist, Bob Weston. So it's very, very messy, and they had to go straight from touring into a recording studio to record their next album.
It really seems like they should go straight from touring into therapy.
It so does, doesn't it? Oh, dearie. So the band started recording their next album in February 1976 with the hope of releasing it in September and then going on another big tour.
Stop touring!
It was decided that they'd record it away from their homes and they'd go to the Record Plant, a recording studio in Sausalito, California.
Sausalito.
Sausalito.
That is fun to say. Matt, have a go.
Sausalito.
Oh, he does it so well.
It's over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Do you have any idea how old the members are at this stage? Because in my head, they were old when I was a baby, basically, or they seemingly were. So in my head now, they're still they're my
Still
parents'
old.
age or something.
Right,
But
no, they are all in their late 20s.
right, so
in
it's
this area.
kind of we're going through a lot of stuff. You're in your 20s. You're also millionaires.
Are you
Yes.
talking to me or about them?
Yeah.
Well, hear me out. You're millionaires,
Okay.
and you're still wondering.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of
No.
similarities.
Okay. You're having affairs with each other's partners.
Jess, am I right?
Okay.
I've made out with the broom.
You've got multiple big albums.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Photo albums on my bookcase.
Oh, I've got music
big-
albums.
big-
Where else
selling.
do you really store your photos?
And you're about to go on another worldwide tour after recording an album in September.
Can you just let me know if you're talking about me
Yeah.
or the band?
Do you mean the worldwide tour? Does that count Kosamui International Podcast Festival?
Yeah, I was talking about you, Jess.
Oh, thank you. I was just double checking.
Matt, can you just keep it on track here?
But
Okay,
it
sorry.
does seem like there's a lot of correlations because I think at the time the band were doing similar things.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Sorry. I wasn't listening for the
You're
last
on-
half an hour or so.
You're on track the whole time. So they're at the Record Plant. Christine, McVie and Nix, who had grown quite close on their recent tour, decided to live in 2 neighbouring apartments near the city's harbour, while the 3 men in the band stayed at the studio's lodge in the hills nearby.
I don't think it was their decision. I think the men said, you go do your thing over there. I think that's what it was.
No, I think the lady I think it might have been like, yeah, I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore.
It might have been like, oh, sorry, guys, 2-bedroom apartment. Oh, no, we really wanted you to come here too. But there's only one other place available, and it's on the other side of town.
So we're going to go do that. Bye.
Bye. Sorry.
Audio engineers Richard Dashett and Ken Calais were hired to record and produce the album with the band. Richard Dashett, or Dashett.
Let's call
good.
him Dashay.
Oh, then
Dashay away.
We got Dashett and Calais.
Oh, hello.
Okay, that's it. We're doing that. Richard Dashett had previously
We're not
worked-
doing Dashay away. Well, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, we've got to do Richard Dashay, Ken Calais away.
Thank you.
That's good.
Can Calais away, Calais
Away, Kayla away.
Kayla away.
I don't know what's
We've
happening.
really changed everyone's name. So we've got Richard Dashay, Ken Calais. Richard had previously worked on the Buckingham Nicks record I talked about earlier. And Ken Calais, fun fact, is the father of Grammy Award winner Colby Calais. that song.
Never heard of them.
You know, it starts in my toes. And
my nose.
You know how I know that? I looked her up.
Yeah, I do have.
I was like, I remember
know
that song now. I've looked it up.
It was probably off an ad for a supermarket or something, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon. Oh, they pay well, though. Before the recording, Mick gave each of the engineers, Richard and Ken, an old Chinese Qing coin and said, good luck.
Wait, what?
He just gave them they're into sort of holistic and hippie things as well.
Like Chinese coins?
Yeah, they like all...
What a hippie.
Hippy dippy.
No, they like...
Here, have $1. Oh, here we go. Hippy dippy.
No, they're just like... They're like new worldy type things. They surround themselves with that kind of stuff.
Like
Did you say
China.
Chinese...
Like China,
Chinese
New World.
money?
Oh, fuck off. You know what I mean. Anyway, he gave them the coin. He was being a wanker, in other words. And they gave him the coin for good luck, which didn't work at first because the Rumours session did not start well. It took the engineers Calais and Dashay 8 days just to find a bass sound that they liked. And in the meantime, they nearly got fired. They complained that the windowless Studio B that they were recording in sounded dead. They tried experimenting with different mic placements and amplifiers, trying to make a bigger sound, but they couldn't capture the massive live sound that the band were hoping for. To me, it sounds like they didn't know what they were doing, because this is them reflecting on it years later. Quote, everything sounded like a miniature person who was playing these miniature instruments, and we were just pulling our hair out. Richard and I tried everything to make the sound bigger, but nothing would work.
Do you think they just need to turn up the volume?
Well, keep listening. Finally, I got pissed off. I said, God damn it, what the hell is going on here? I literally just started turning knobs. Within about 5 minutes of doing this on a track we were trying to cut, it was sounding great. So yes, they literally just had to turn it up.
Great. It sounds like mini people
Oh,
playing tiny little quiet instruments. I can barely hear them.
I can't hear. Shh, grab that fucking Chinese coin.
That's great. Well, the coin worked.
How did they get this gig? Because they're already a huge band.
And these people have already recorded albums before.
Yeah, but albums that didn't do well.
And that's right, because you know why? Because on
No
the
one could
radio,
hear them.
people are like, sorry, is that a guitar or
I think the radio's cut out.
is that a
Yeah.
tiny, tiny man?
Someone's whispering softly.
And
Catchy, got a cool beat.
And Mick Fleetwood heard that and went, I want that miniature man in my band.
Yeah.
The band jammed live in the studio, and Mick Fleetwood often played his drum kit outside the studio's partition screen, so they're all like looking at each other, but he's on the outside. So he could make eye contact with and gauge the engineers' reactions to the music's groove, because he wanted them to like it. At first, they thought that they were just being hired to just basically hit record, and that the band would produce it themselves. But then they started asking them questions like, which take did you like? And they were like, I actually have to concentrate.
Oh, that
right.
sucks.
Yeah.
That's not what I signed up for.
Yeah, right. So then they ended up being quite producery and having big roles in the actual sound of the album. But Lindsey Buckingham became the real creative force behind the recording and had a real vision for having an even poppier album than the previous one. During the formative stages of compositions, Buckingham and Christine McVie played guitar and piano together to create the album's basic structures. Christine was the only formally trained musician of the group, but her and Buckingham really complemented each other well with their songs.
Oh, dear. Okay. And their genitals?
Well,
Wait, is one of these the one without a dick now?
No, that's John McVie.
Oh, John McVie, sorry.
And Christine hasn't seen a dick for a while.
except for that sound engineer from
Yeah.
before.
True.
Yeah.
But there's always room for more dicks.
Yeah. Whenever someone says, John McVie, can we play this one in D? He would run out of the room
Crying,
weeping.
yeah.
Yep.
And they'd all be like, why do you keep asking him?
Stop. Put it in A.
That's what he wants.
Put it in A for anus.
Ah.
I got one of those. Also, the three vocalists, Nix, Buckingham and McVie, all had voices that blended perfectly to create amazing harmonies. And this became a real secret weapon for the group.
I mean, it's not a secret. You just said it. So obviously other people knew to write it down for you to then read it.
No secret weapon before it was released.
Okay.
Mick Fleetwood had removed all the clocks from the studio, and it didn't have any windows, so nobody could tell what time of day it was when they were recording.
And that's when someone said, "We're gonna need a bigger clock."
Why didn't they just check their phones?
I think it would sound a little something. I like that. If Jaws was about time.
Yeah. They're like, these tiny people have all these tiny clocks.
Drugs and alcohol were flying left, right, and centre, with the UK members, Mick Fleetwood, John, and Christine, apparently preferring alcohol, and the US contingent, Buckingham and Nix, preferring marijuana. Buckingham kept a big tape box full of pot at the studio, and he was apparently always seen rolling a joint.
Right.
at all
They sound like
times.
the original Odd Couple. You like marijuana. I like Coke. Was it Coke?
No, alcohol.
Alcohol. God damn it. Oh,
Well,
rum and Coke.
There we go.
Speaking of cocaine, then there was the cocaine. Mountains of the stuff were consumed during the writing and recording. Cocaine wasn't seen as a party drug to them, but a necessity.
Do you reckon they charge that as a business expense?
Yeah.
Like, do you claim that on your taxes?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can claim it on tax, but the record company's throwing money at them because their last album sold 5 million copies unexpectedly.
Right.
So they're like, whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Bags and bags of coke.
Bags and bags. They would work 15 hours a day and then try and start at the same time the next day. But every day, the time blew out because they worked so late.
And
the
they
night
didn't
before.
have a clock.
They didn't have a clock. And this kept happening until eventually one day they started their day at 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear.
because they'd slept all day. Soon they were working until 4 a.m. every night until they decided to take the next day off. But after they did this once, they felt like they'd lost too much time. And from that point on, it was decided that they would have no more days off.
That's a bad idea.
I was thinking I was going to have the opposite effect where they go, hey, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun.
More days off.
The beach was really fun. so to pick themselves up, they started taking cocaine. They saw no alternative.
They were taking it.
They saw no alternative.
It's like a good night's sleep.
What?
What? Sorry. I don't understand.
Sorry, is this
Did you say
another-
Coke?
Is this another American English thing?
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Have you
Yeah.
guys eaten any actual food today?
Sorry. Are you racking up some Coke for me? Or? I'm sorry. What are we doing here?
Chris Stone, the owner of the Record Plant studio, recalled the situation 20 years later. He said, quote, "The band would come in at 7 at night, have a big feast, party till 1 or 2 in the morning, and then when they were so whacked out that they couldn't do anything, then they'd start recording."
Okay.
That sounds like a bad time.
But all of this led to like one of the biggest albums of all time. as
Sure,
well.
but like imagine, I'm imagining the opposite. It's one or two movie tropes, right? There's either that they're completely whacked and then they pick up instruments and they're really good, which it sounds like it is.
Pick up these
Or
start playing the Friends theme song. Oh no, we recorded the Friends theme song again.
or they pick up the instruments and in their heads they're very good, but what actually comes out is ha.
Yeah, they listen back.
Yeah.
And if you were the Beatles, you'd sample that and put it in one of your songs.
Play it
That's why
backwards.
Yeah.
That's
and
why
make
they're
another
great.
hit
That
record.
sounds great. Yoko, what do you think of this?
Plinker plonker plinker. was screamed in the little recording machine there.
Mick Fleetwood, the drummer, famously once estimated that if he laid out all of the cocaine he'd ever snorted into a single line, it would stretch for 7 miles.
What a weird brag. I reckon I've done 7 miles of coke.
They spent millions of dollars on this stuff. It's over their lives. It's ridiculous. He later wrote, quote, "The tales of excess are true, but we'd all be dead already if we weren't made of stronger stuff," end quote, which is kind of true because several of the earlier members I mentioned being part of the group, the people that had the
Evaporated.
breakdowns, a lot of those people are now dead and died in their 50s and 60s, but these
right.
5 core members are all still alive.
Right.
So I don't know if they actually are got like quite strong constitutions to survive this kind of stuff, but yeah.
Nah, a cup of tea and going to bed.
Oh man, I love tea.
Yeah.
I love bed.
What's
I
your
love
tea of
bed.
choice?
I love peppermint.
Oh, peppermint. I don't mind a peppermint.
Yeah, I love a peppermint.
I'm an Earl Grey man.
I'm a herbal girl.
Ooh,
I've got a passion fruit and hibiscus tea in my cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit, it's good.
I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
know
Herbal
what it
girl,
means.
you American? Matt's British?
Yeah.
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 No, Matt. You're supposed to sound British.
I. I went, I said, oh, yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. And
There we go.
I realized, that bad Paul McCartney thing I do occasionally.
Very good, Paul McCartney.
I realized recently I heard Dana Carvey do it on a podcast recently. I'm like, oh, I think I'm impersonating Dana Carvey impersonating Paul McCartney.
So, but you heard only recently.
Yeah,
so had you heard it earlier?
I'm wondering if I ever heard it before. Not that I remember. It's very funny. He,
The band were taking so much coke during this period that they considered thanking their coke dealer on the album's credits.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he died. Quote, unfortunately, he got snuffed, executed before the thing came out, Fleetwood wrote in his first memoir. There you go. He got killed in a gangland killing. So.
Imagine having multiple memoirs.
Yeah, that's his first one.
Wow, I'm going to write one at 80.
Can't believe that.
One and done. Get it all.
That's what you took away from that story. Wow, he's got multiple memoirs.
be more efficient, Mick. Come on, mate. You're a drummer in some band.
They kept their cocaine in a velvet bag underneath the mixing desk and would take a hit anytime they felt tired. Recording engineer Mr. Calais pranked them one day when he pretended to drop the bag and spilt fake cocaine all over the floor, and apparently the band wanted to kill him.
Oh, but it sounds like they have so much of it.
Yeah.
What a confusing world they're living in.
But you have to go and get more.
Right.
What a prank. Did they? I think I saw that on Punk'd.
Yeah.
They did that on Punk'd.
Yeah, when they expose a celebrity's painful cocaine addiction. Oh, check this out. I've got your Coke, Mel Gibson. Oh, no, I've spilt it everywhere. Oh.
Allegedly, Dave.
Well,
I don't know if that's common knowledge, Mel Gibson.
That's never happened. Not our Mel. He's never had any troubles. Don't tell me. Not Mel. No, not Mel. He's been so good for so many years.
What's your favourite Mel Gibson role?
The Beaver.
That's where he communicated with the beaver puppet?
Yes.
Was that any good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a Mel Gibson film.
Oh.
My favourite was Gallipoli.
Oh, wow. They made us watch that at high school.
Followed
That was a good
closely
movie.
by What Women Want.
Another good movie. He really turned Nike campaigns on their heads.
Just do it.
That was him.
That was him. That was Mel Gibson. That film is actually a documentary. A lot of people think it's a fiction.
I didn't.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, sorry.
Some idiots.
People stupider than I.
Yeah.
Dave, do go on.
So amongst the music and the drugs, the relationship troubles continued. Christine McVie would sneak a new boyfriend into the studio just as John was walking out another door. Christine had now started dating Fleetwood Mac's lighting director, Curry Grant.
Curry.
Ah.
She's so close to Cary Grant.
Yeah.
I think his name was Cary Grant, but now he's like, fuck. I got to change it to
Still on the name.
Curry.
Did anyone else get hungry then, though?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I'm peckish.
Yeah.
For some Curry Grant.
No,
Yeah.
chips. Always want chippies.
Chips with a garlic naan on the side.
Oh, now you're talking. Her ex-husband, John McVie, did not take the breakup well and started hooking up with band groupies back at what Mick Fleetwood described as a bordello with blacked-out rooms, thick shag carpets, deprivation tanks, and a very liberal sprinkling of assorted drugs. There you go.
Sounds awful.
That's where they're staying.
Yuck.
Doesn't sound fun, does it?
No, give me a balcony, cup of tea,
Yeah.
and a fucking blanket. And 9 p.m, I'm going to bed.
Have you stayed at a place that wouldn't give you a blanket? You sounded furious about
Yeah,
that.
I'm mad. I
Give
want a
me
blanket.
a fucking blanket.
Give me a blanket. Don't be unreasonable.
I think all these places would have those things too.
Okay. It's just then I choose to do Coke or a cup of tea.
Why not both?
There it is. See, that's about balance. These guys have no balance.
Yeah.
They don't like tea.
Have your yin, then have your yang.
Yes. Honestly. God, what we've learnt, more modern times
Yeah.
about the rock and roll lifestyle.
In this instance, have your Coke and eat it too.
Eat it being a healthy dinner.
Yeah. Maybe a digestive biscuit.
Yeah.
Lindsay Buckingham and Stevie Nicks kept fighting about everything. One of the producers recalled the way they had to record one of the songs. I remember them singing background vocals to You Make Loving Fun. sitting on 2 stools in front of a pair of microphones directly facing me on the other side of the control room glass. And if we had to stop the tape for whatever reason, during the few seconds that it took to be rewound, they'd be shouting and screaming at another. I'd be thinking, go tape, hurry, let's hit play. Because he'd hit play and they'd go, la, la, la. And stop, they're like, you fucking maggot.
That's amazing. Such pros.
Yeah, that does sound. There's something really kind of admirable about
They are
that.
really dedicated to the music.
About faking
It's
it.
amazing.
Yeah, just to be able to get through it. I imagine many others would fall apart in
Yeah.
these circumstances.
Then there was drummer Mick Fleetwood. He wasn't banging anyone in the band, so all was fine, right?
Oh no,
Just
Mick.
banging his drums.
That's what he calls his balls.
Fleetwood Mac's reputation for burning each other was well known and was starting to be constantly written about in the media. It was played up for laughs on their first Rolling Stone cover, which depicted the entire band in bed with one another. Legendary rock and roll photographer Annie Leibovitz took the photos. She said, I thought I'd be nice and polite, and I brought a bunch of cocaine for everyone.
That is very polite. She British or American? That feels like real British hospitality. American, there you go.
You say, like, bring a plate of Coke.
Coke. Just making a mirror.
The 2 ex-couples in the band didn't want to lie next to each other, so Christine lay with Lindsay Buckingham, and Mick Fleetwood lay with Stevie Nicks. And on the other side of the bed, John McVie can be seen lying alone, holding a Playboy magazine. Bit of fun.
Yeah, that's fun for John.
They had to lie there for 3 hours, and in the time Nick spent snuggling with Fleetwood, they had a deep impression on each other.
Oh.
Fleetwood later wrote that the shoot caused him to realise that he and Nix had, quote, definitely known each other in previous lives. Oh. Remember, I told you he's a wanker.
Mick Fleetwood's a wanker.
No, but he believes in stuff like this.
But they were in bed for 3 hours.
And-
finally getting some rest.
Yeah. And
Did you say made a deep impression?
Yeah, that's
Did
what
you-
I thought too.
Yeah. Is that what they said?
Were they not wearing pants?
eventually, they also began an affair
With or without pants?
without pants.
Scandalised.
So everyone in the band has slept with at least one other member, some 2 members.
Wow. The dream. I'd want to sleep with every member. And then I'd get to it and be like, oh, it's only me left. And then I'd just have to go and stand by a cliff.
Feel
And
alone.
the credits roll. And that's the end of your memoir.
Oh, my one memoir, Mick.
The final fapping chapter. Did I say fapping right there?
I believe so.
Isn't that correct?
By that you mean looking off into the middle distance.
Yeah, fapping off into the
nostalgically.
distance.
Yeah.
Yes, I end my memoir fapping into the distance. Yes.
Sipping a cup of tea whilst having a good fap. Thought to myself, yes, I've done it. Fap. As Matt said, credits roll. There was also tension between band members that weren't having sex. Bassist John McVie and guitarist Lindsay Buckingham fought a lot too, and McVie reportedly threw a glass of vodka at Buckingham's face on one occasion.
So they're sexually frustrated. Or do you mean that they're not having sex with someone else in the band? Or they're just not having sex in general?
No, sorry, they're not having sex with each other.
Right.
Right.
But maybe they should.
But still, so basically everyone's fighting at some stage.
Yeah.
All the members thought about quitting at some point, but as Stevie Nicks later said, the music was so good it kept us from flipping out.
Okay, spit up yourself. God, this music is my favourite.
You won't
Yuck.
even give it to him knowing that it's such a big classic album. You're like, a bit arrogant.
Tall poppy.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Australian way.
That's right.
Ew, yuck, you believe in yourself. Get out.
Our national floral emblem is the tall poppy.
It's our national sport. Cutting them down.
Hey, don't stick your neck up or your head. Maybe
Just your neck.
Any
just
part
your
of your
neck.
body.
Your neck's fine.
Stick your neck up. Trying to get just my neck up. And it wasn't just relationship dramas that the band had to wade through. The recording itself had problems. One thing they hadn't counted on was because they were recording to tape back in those days, every time they played it back, it slowly began to wear out. This wasn't usually such a big problem because bands didn't spend this much time in a recording studio. Back in the day, you'd smash it out live. You know, the first Beatles album, they recorded in a day. But they'd played the tapes back so much that the tapes and recordings began to lose all definition.
Ah.
they noticed when they played the drums back and they couldn't tell the difference between the kick drum and the snare. It just sounded like boom, boom, boom. And they're like, okay. So they had to go back.
Do they need to turn the volume up?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's...
He doesn't know
Twiddle
what he's
some
doing.
knobs again,
Yeah,
mate.
twiddle some knobs. Define that shit.
They had to go back to the original recordings, and a specialist was hired to match the original tracks using a VSO, a very speed oscillator, to get them all in time together. So you had to listen to different tracks and slow them down or speed them up. So everything one at a time, and it took hours.
6 hours.
Actually, I was watching a documentary. They were talking about how epic this was, and I'm pretty sure they said it took him 14 hours. Like, it wasn't even that long.
He comes in, he goes, yep, okay, no worries.
They're like,
I'll have it
wow.
on your desk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, it took us 8 days to be able to find the volume button, so that's pretty
That sounds
impressive.
really good.
I'm impressed, mate. But this and other delays, because it took so long to write and record the album, they meant a sellout autumn tour of the US had to be cancelled to allow the completion of the album, whose scheduled release date of September 1976 was pushed back. So,
Now, all of a sudden, this album's so expensive.
Yeah,
so
it's
pressure is building.
costing heaps.
Having to cancel tours because of it.
yeah, so that's costing money.
Yeah.
The record label's like, God, we're spending millions
The
of dollars
Coke's
on this. This is
costing
yeah,
millions
you
alone.
are spending all of the profits on Coke.
So if it flopped after all this, it would have been a disaster. It must have been feeling some pressure.
Yeah, totally.
But they also sound like they fully believed it.
yeah,
At least looking back, I imagine there must have been some doubt at the time.
yeah, it's so easy looking back to be like, yeah, we knew it'd sell 40
Yeah.
million copies. Anyway. A strange side effect of living so intensely but still making this music together was that they were talking to each other through their own songs and lyrics. Mick later said the only drawback was that John couldn't talk back because he doesn't sing. So the other three songwriters that are all singing about each other, but John just has to go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you hear that?
Is that your impression of the bass?
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you so much. Played for many years.
He did not touch the D string though.
I did not.
No, because he didn't have one.
It's all on the A. What I'm going to do now is just go through the album song by song.
Will you sing them for us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
To avoid copyright, I will do a bad job. But usually,
But you'll have to put in the effort to do a bad job.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you're an angel.
Sing them all to the tune of one of the classic Brown Hornet. No, what's your band called?
Weed Hornet.
Weed Hornet songs.
I mean, you've got Never Knew,
Yep.
Criminal,
Mm-hmm.
Decisions.
Yep. Yeah, the list goes
You had
on.
3 songs? My band had like 2 and covers.
We recorded. I can play to. We recorded an EP at a recording studio.
Yes, you will play that to us. Yes,
I'm trying to think. Never Knew. That's another one.
you said that already.
Oh, how's that one?
That was the first one you said. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Weed Hornet, but
Anyway, one day I
You're
will do
playing
the
that for
biopic.
us.
I will do the massive report, the 6-hour epic.
yeah.
Because it will take me that long to remember the fourth song on that album, that record. Anyway, so Rumours had 11 songs over 2 sides on records as there were back in that day, and it goes for just over 40 minutes in total. The opening track of the album is called Secondhand News.
My favourite part of Secondhand News is that I like to imagine that they were like, all right, we just need a chorus for this. Somebody go, step away, write the chorus, bring it back. And like, I wrote it, don't worry, I got it. And they get into the recording studio and it's just bow, 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 bow.
So there is literally, that is someone actually singing that as well as a guitar. That's
Yeah.
how they made that sound. They were like, this isn't chunky enough. So they got Lindsey Buckingham, the guitarist, to play it and also go chicka bow bow bow.
Very good.
It's amazing.
Bow, bow, bow. Do 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 do. Bow, 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 bow.
chicka
Bow, 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 bow. It's amazing.
And he was like, "This sounds great. I'm going to do it on every song." Lindsey Buckingham wrote and performed the vocals on this opening track, and the song itself consists of a kind of Scottish-Irish folk influences. They also used a chair as an instrument on the song to create a scratching rhythm. They went on a wooden chair. So they're breaking all the rules. They're
They're pioneers.
bowing. They're scratching chairs. They're doing it.
They're bowing.
You know what I mean. Yeah, they are with each other and other people.
And chairs.
Oh, John McVie put his A on that chair. Oh, so hard.
He doesn't have a D to put there. But if he did,
Well, he would.
he'd put his D on that chair.
The next track on the album is Stevie Nicks penned Dreams. In my opinion, Fleetwood Mac's best song. And the public agreed. It became the only number one song for the band in the US and sold over 1 million copies there.
And it goes, Dave.
Higher and higher, straight up we'll fly. Bow, 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 bow. Higher and higher, leave it all behind.
Who is that?
It's Van Halen, Sammy Hagar.
Oh,
Van
yeah,
Halen.
of course. Oh.
So obviously the most iconic song called Dreams.
Yeah, obviously.
Stevie wrote the song on her own in an unused room down the hall from the rest of the studio. The room had been built for funk legend Sly Stone and included a sunken bed, and Stevie wrote the song in the bed on an electric piano, and apparently it came to her in 10 minutes.
Whoa.
She recorded the song on a cassette and instantly knew that she'd written something good. She recorded in 2009. It was a rough take, just me singing solo and playing piano. Even though he was mad with me at the time, Lindsay played it and he looked up at me and smiled. What was going on between us was sad. We were couples who couldn't make it through, but as musicians, we still respected each other.
It's one of those amazing albums, you know, like so many classic albums will be a partnership or one key songwriter. But this is just like through a crazy series of events that led to these 5 being together. And then all of them have written bangers, like all-time great songs.
It's amazing. And Lindsay later said you couldn't think of 5 more different people with their personalities. But somehow when you put us in a room together, we made good songs.
Wow.
The song Dreams is in part about Lindsay. The opening line is, "Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down?" So she's singing about him there. Track 3 is an acoustic number sung by Lindsey Buckingham called Never Going Back Again. It's all about Lindsay meeting a new woman. To achieve a brighter sounding guitar tone on the acoustic guitars, producer Calais had studio techs change the strings on Buckingham's guitar every 20 minutes.
Whoa.
The roadies were not happy about this. They were even more pissed off when they realised that they'd recorded all the guitar parts in the wrong key and they had to do it all again the next day.
Oh, shit. But I love that song.
I think it's probably my second favourite song.
I
on the album
love it.
After Dreams. The next track was another hit written by Christine McVie. Don't Stop. Thinking About Tomorrow.
Far out. It is just banger after banger.
Yeah.
It reflects her feelings after her separation from Fleetwood Mac's bass guitarist John McVie after 8 years of marriage. She later recalled, "Don't Stop was just a feeling. It just seemed to be a pleasant revelation that yesterday's gone." Imagine that. He's playing bass while she's singing, "I'm so excited that all that's behind me." Yeah.
Wow.
New me.
Well, in this right now, it's beside me. But
That's right. The song became the theme music for United States presidential candidate Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign, and he used the song lots of times over the years. Sort of became his theme song. Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow with Bill. Track 5, another hit, Go Your Own Way.
You can go your own way. I have a video of you singing that song.
Where were we?
At the old studios.
Really?
We were downstairs in an office. You hadn't had a lot of sleep and you're sitting on a table singing that song, not realising I was filming you.
Oh, if it's any good, you should release it.
It's not good.
And cash in.
So, yes, I'll release it.
you should have read about it in Jess's first memoir.
How many are you having? 3?
Yeah, I like a triptych. I'm
Yeah,
like
I reckon.
I'm like Adele. I believe in trilogies. That's what she said.
Yeah, well, I just heard her.
Yeah, I
was
just played
sing-
a clip of Adele.
See,
I believe in trilogies.
that one must have been that's one of the biggest ones, but these are all like huge.
Yeah, these are
I don't know, the
huge.
track 1 is probably not a huge song, but
No.
it's a pretty well known.
I like
Yeah,
it.
we're going
Album
back again.
track.
Oh, sorry.
Secondhand
Secondhand
News.
news. Yeah. So far, the singles have been Dreams, Don't Stop, and now Go Your Own Way, which was released as the album's first single and helped to build hype for the album
Right.
because it was a hit. Lindsay wrote the song about letting Stevie go her own way and both of them moving on even though they're finding it hard. The opening line is, "Loving you isn't the right thing to do."
Loving you. Oh, man. It's good.
Another one of the lines is, "Packing up, shacking up is all you want to do." A line he refused to take out despite her objections. This is what she said to Rolling Stone years later. I very much resented him telling the world that packing up, shacking up with different men was all I wanted to do. He knew it wasn't true. It was just an angry thing that he'd said. Every time those words would come on stage, I wanted to go over and kill him. He knew it, so he really pushed my buttons through that. It was like, I'll make you suffer for leaving me. And I did.
That's
good.
mean.
That's no good. I would have read that lyric as meaning on again, off again. Packing up, wanting to leave, and then shacking up
with
again.
Him. Yeah, no, it's with other people, he's saying.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I don't think he'd get away with that kind of behaviour anymore.
Is he calling her a slut? Is that sort of like slut before slut was a thing?
I don't know. Well, I mean, is he saying it's good or bad? He's just saying that
that's
she's
all you want to
focusing on
do.
it. Look,
Not
I'm
very
not.
nice.
I'm not in a great position as a a celibate man. I shouldn't really comment on
Not
such
by
things.
choice.
Well, hang on, no.
Couldn't bloody get it if you wanted to.
That is not true.
It's true, and you bloody know it.
Celibate this afternoon, anyway. Celibate for the last 40 minutes.
We've been recording for over an hour.
Yeah, I've been fapping below the desk.
Celibate.
There's a few little regrets creeping in there.
All right, let's all make a deal. Celibate, starting now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just couldn't do it. I'm out.
That's our own The Bet.
Yeah. Great episode. I'm out.
Kramer laying down the cash on the coffee table is one of the table or whatever. That is so funny. Classic Kramer sort of laying it down from... Anyway.
Just the final bit on Go Your Own Way, which was written by Lindsay. Lindsay was driving one day when back home in LA when he heard the song played on the radio for the first time by a DJ called B. Mitchell Reed, who was quite influential and had a lot to do with going over to the UK and bringing the Beatles back to the US on the radio and stuff. B. Mitchell introduced it as the latest Fleetwood Mac song. Lindsay was loving it, grooving along, feeling accomplished to hear the first single on the radio. Then it came back to Reed and he said, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Oh.
So Lindsay was taken aback.
So Lindsay drove to the studio and murdered him.
He called the studio during the next song and they put him on air. And he's like, hey, it's Lindsay Buckingham. I just heard you play my song. And he's like, oh, hi, Lindsay. And he's like, why didn't you like my song? And Reed said, I just couldn't find the beat. He said that. Luckily, Reed was wrong. It became the band's first top 10 hit single in the USA.
That's pretty
and
embarrassing.
Reed was murdered
I wonder,
by an unknown person.
An unknown curly-haired guitarist.
It does seem like a weird play to call up and just so publicly show how insecure you are about your music. But obviously didn't affect.
But people can, I mean, it's very subjective.
Yeah.
He's allowed to be like, no, I don't dig it.
No one in the world, no song in the world is loved by everyone.
No.
Have you heard Weed Hornet?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Have you heard You're the Voice?
When you say Weed Hornet fast, it sounds like weed on it. Is that fun? Was that part of the...
That's part of the fun. It's a band name that's funny the first time you hear it, but less funny each time you hear it.
Weed on it. Weed on it. Weed on it. Okay.
So could I know that one of my best friends in the world, Tom Mitchell, singer of Weed Hornet, listens to this podcast. So shout out to you, Tom. Shout out to you.
Tom, Weed Hornet reunion?
Can we make it happen?
I'm just saying.
Tom, let's make it happen.
Let's get t-shirts.
Could we do a live show sometime where Weed Hornet play the after party?
That would be so good. Woo!
Who else was in Weed Hornet?
Rowan on drums.
Sure.
Rowan,
Are you still in contact with Rowan?
Yeah, saw him at a school reunion a few months ago.
Because if he's not in, let's get on to Mick Fleetwood.
Mick, I think...
Bobby.
Bobby, you've been looking for a band that will take you to the next level.
Yeah.
I think we got it. You can write a third memoir about this chapter in your life.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow, Mick. Yesterday's gone, and yesterday is Fleetwood Mac.
Tomorrow is Weed Hornet.
Yeah. We're the future, baby.
Well, let me know if you want to see some Weed Hornet reunion.
Was that it? Just the three of you?
Oh, and Jamie on guitar.
Oh, cop that, Jamie.
No,
brutal.
he was the best.
Okay.
Where's Jamie now?
Haven't seen. He moved schools. I haven't seen him.
He evaporated.
In a while. Yeah, but he was. Oh my god, he was such a great.
Do you reckon
guitarist.
he'd be up for a reunion?
Oh, of course.
If I said, I'll buy you a drink. Not me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like the dude on business.
The
I'm not buying anyone a drink.
royal eye.
Yes.
Yeah, the Queen will buy him a drink. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I reckon we can.
Yeah.
I reckon she could.
All she has to do is wink her royal eye, and a drink will be brought.
John McVie wished he could wink his royal eye, but he didn't have one.
Apart from his
Royal eye.
his butt eye.
Yeah,
You should have been playing poker then. That's on him.
that is on him. Oh, poor John. Anyway, the final track on the first side of the album was Christine McVie's piano ballad Songbird and was released as the B-side to Dreams.
For you.
It's basically just Christine sounding beautiful like that. And
There'll be no crying.
it's her on a piano with a little bit of guitar added later.
For you.
Unlike the rest of the album, it wasn't recorded at the studio, but rather live at the Zellerbach Ball Auditorium in California.
Is Eva Cassidy? Is that her? She covered that, I guess. I didn't even realize it was a Fleetwood Mac song. Maybe I've never heard Rumours. I probably haven't.
Yes, it has been covered quite a bit.
Yeah, right. Great song.
Yeah, so they recorded in an empty auditorium. To set the mood, the producer Calais put a dozen roses on the piano and hooked up a giant spotlight. It was recorded on the stage in a completely empty room, and the sound was captured with 15 separate microphones.
Whoa.
It had to be done in one take, so Christine recorded it over and over again all night until 7 a.m. the next
I
morning.
love that. Had to be recorded in one take, so they had to do it over and over again.
Wow.
We need to do the Jiminy Dilliker scene again.
15 microphones.
Yeah, they were pretty excessive with everything.
Feels like a bit much. We've only got 3 here.
Well, I mean, we got 5.
No, but we're only using 3.
Okay, sure.
Because there's only 3 of us.
Yeah, but if we had a piano, we'd have a few more mics.
Would we?
Yeah.
I don't reckon.
During their tour, ex-husband John McVie would watch her play it from the side of stage, and he'd weep every night. Later on, when they toured, she'd asked, "Do I have to keep playing that every night?" And they said, "Of course, it's one of your best songs." And she said, "But I'm sick of crying." So she was also crying whilst playing.
Oh, but also, stop showing emotion, you big douchebags.
Grow up.
Yuck! Get over it.
That is why I brought this story up.
For the emotion.
So you could bring up.
Oh, they're both crying. Oh, they're so sad. Oh, we're crying. Get over it. Nerds.
I think it's beautiful.
Nah. It's weak.
I cried once.
What?
Yeah.
You leave this studio right now, young man.
Did the
Think
Saints
about what you've
lose
done.
a big game?
No.
Have you ever cried over football?
I don't think so, but I've definitely been
Cried.
upset about it.
You've cried.
I don't think I've ever cried about
Has it ruined
football.
your day?
It's ruined my weekends quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's still, like, if I in Perth, right, I walked past this pub and it was called the Brass Monkey. I'm like, oh, I've got to go and have a beer. I look up at the screen, there's a replay of a Saints game. I'm like, this is my pub. Then I realise it's the Saints 2009 grand final
Oh, no.
where we lost in the last minutes of the game. Did a big U-turn,
Yeah.
put my finger out.
Yeah.
I thought that story was going to go, you found what makes you cry. You saw a pub called the Brass Monkey and you thought, 2 of my favourite things, drinking and primates. I can get any better than Never seen anything more beautiful. Oh, God, stop me.
Actually, I think I reckon most likely to cry these days on an aeroplane watching a movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something about aeroplane. The
I
air
also
pressure
feel a
that
bit
makes you more
emotional.
emotional.
I
I always
do-
feel heightened emotions.
You guys disgust me. I sat in between you on long flights,
Yeah,
not knowing that I was sitting in between absolute wuss bags.
Oh, don't worry. I don't watch anything that will make me cry anymore. I just watch action films.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is.
The Incredibles 2 you were watching.
He watched it 3 times because he kept falling asleep.
And then you were hugging a pillow and you look
Yeah, it was so cute.
so cute with The Incredibles 2 just playing on your screen. It's good fun.
Hey, Dave, I've got a rep to protect.
Oh, sorry. You were watching Fight Club or something.
And you were hugging a knife.
Rocking back and forth. And we went, God, he's cute.
Little cutie pants. Anyway, what's
I'm gonna cut him.
what's on the B side?
Well, side 2 of the album opens with The Chain, the only song from the album credited to all 5 members, because it was made up of several previously rejected songs being combined. It has a really
Interesting.
great John McVie bass line.
How's that go?
Boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Next up is another Christine McVie song called You Make Loving Fun, which she wrote about her then boyfriend Curry Grant as a bit of a shot at her ex-husband John.
Oh, because loving used to be so difficult.
It became the album's 4th top 10 hit.
It was a chore, but now it's fun and something's changed.
I don't know if I recognise it by name. It's a real lame name for a song.
Yeah.
You'd know it if you heard it.
Go on.
I just started and then realised I've forgotten most of it.
Right.
How does the chorus go?
I think it's You Make Loving Fun.
You make love and fun. You want to fun the night away. I don't know what that is.
You make me feel like dancing. That's what it is.
Leo Sayer. Now an Australian, I believe.
We've broken Dave's brain.
Oh, I was just looking ahead because the next one, I don't have anything fun to write. Track 9 is called I Don't Want to Know, written by Stevie Nicks.
I love that song.
Oh, great, because I was going to say...
I don't want to know the reason why you love it.
That's all I've written about that one.
Okay.
I don't think I know that
It's
one.
fun.
All right.
The second last track is Oh Daddy.
Oh, I hate Oh Daddy.
Really?
I hate it. I skip it every time.
The term, just the word daddy is...
Oh, Daddy. No, I just don't like the song, but also Daddy's gross.
I quite like the chorus of it. Christine wrote this song about Mick Fleetwood, who was the only parent at the time.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And he's listed it as the song as one of his favourite Fleetwood Mac songs of all time.
Of course, because it was written about
No,
him.
it's about him. Near the end of the song, McVie placed some random notes on the keyboard. These were not originally intended to be part of the song, and McVie only played them to get the attention of the recording studio's control room. But the band liked them so much that they did not remove them from the song. So it was her going, hey, 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 and they're like, that sounds good.
Yeah. Oi, oi, hey, oi, oi, oi,
You've done it again.
oi.
She's a genius.
The final track, Gold Dust Woman, was written by Stevie Nicks, also performed by her. She wrote the song about drugs, having become increasingly reliant on them to keep her going. She later said, Gold Dust Woman was about how we all loved the ritual of it. The little bottle, the diamond-studded spoons, the fabulous velvet bags.
Yeah, seems very, it's like everyone's experience with drugs.
That's why it was so big. Everyone related.
Diamond-encrusted spoons.
Velvet bag. For me, it fitted right into the incense and candles and all that stuff. And I really imagined it could overtake everything, never thinking in a million years that it would overtake me.
Really? Really? That never crossed your mind?
She didn't count herself in everything.
Oh, wow, that's sad. Again, therapy.
I'm above everything, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Also therapy, if that's the attitude too.
So there's the tracks. The album cover itself is quite famous and often parodied. The front cover of Rumours was taken by Herbert W. Worthington.
I think you just had a stutter? Herbert Worthington.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Nah.
Let's just call him Herbert Worthington.
Yeah.
It features Mick Fleetwood and Stevie Nicks, with Stevie dressed in her Rhiannon stage persona,
Right.
which he'd created for the song Rhiannon on the previous album. Another interesting note is the two balls that can be seen hanging between Mick's
Certainly
legs.
not McVie's.
Yeah, no, he wasn't invited to this shoot. So they're literally, if you haven't seen the album cover, they're sort of posing with each other, and Mick's got this like stylized ponytail going on, and it looks like quite a cool shot. But if you look closely at it, he's got these two brown balls that are hanging from his belt, hanging between his legs.
Right.
The balls are actually lavatory chains used to flush a toilet.
Okay.
Mick had a couple of
Cool.
drinks, and he brought them out of the toilet. He broke them off the toilet and brought them into the photo shoot, and they just stayed in the final shot.
Okay.
I was very destructive. I ripped them off the toilet and had them hanging down between my legs, he later recalled. He loved a good dick and ball prank.
Oh, that's so mean for his fellow band member.
Well, maybe this was a taunting McVie, because he went through a lengthy period of placing a dildo on the top of his bass drum. Nicknamed Harold, the sex toy became a sort of mascot during the early years of the band, until one day when they were playing at an American Southern Baptist college and they were nearly arrested for the sexual display.
It just had a dildo on the
Yeah.
drum. That's cool.
I'd never noticed those. I think
Yeah.
I just assumed they were like they dangled off his jacket because he kind of looks like a pirate or something. He's wearing sort
Yeah.
of pirate wear.
Yeah,
or,
sort of like a
waistcoat
and stuff.
Three
yeah.
Musketeers sort of outfit.
I've done a side-by-side of that and Xavier Michaelides' character doing Dangleberries.
David Price.
David Price.
Hi, I'm a David Price.
Oh my goodness, I love David Price.
David Price is
funny.
amazing, and he has a product that he's trying to sell called Dangleberries, and they look just like that.
Yeah.
And I sent that to him, and I think he liked it.
We'll have to share that sketch.
It's very good stuff. I wonder if it was inspired by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. I think that one features Alistair Trumbo Birchall.
I believe
And
so.
If he was here, he'd say, share it? Should we share it? Yeah, I think that's doable.
Yeah. And then I'd say, oh, I didn't see you there, Al. Hi.
Hello.
There we go.
Thank you so much. I forgot my Alistair catchphase.
Yeah,
Hello.
thank you so much.
You forgot hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I've got so many characters.
True.
They sound nothing alike. Stop you right there.
Alistair, coincidentally, is on this week's Primates. Or next week's. He's on a real soon Primates.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. Very
Xavier
funny.
Michaelides, coincidentally on last week's book cheat.
Oh,
There you go.
what a guy. What a couple of guys.
Hey, we should get him to get the David Price gang back
Oh
together.
my
let's
God.
do it. The good old
dream
channel is
team.
happening.
I went up to Xavier recently and said, let's do it. Let's make some more sketches. And the conversation continues.
It fizzled, didn't it?
We
He
will-
said, yeah, Matt, that'd be great. I've just got to pop out for a bit. And you're like, where you going? Can I come? And he's like, my phone's ringing.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty confident that things are moving along in the right direction.
How do we tell him?
We will share some of the sketches, but if you're near YouTube right now, type in David Praise and you'll see a man presenting fucked up infomercials, and man, are they good.
They're so great.
All right, Fleetwood Mac, we're nearly there. They kicked off a massive international tour to promote Rumours that began on February 4th, 1977. As the tour went on, the band became increasingly concerned that fans and the media were more interested in the stories behind the music than the new music itself. Because there were all these rumours going around about them, sleeping with each other, so that's all the media are talking about. Lindsay suggested that they call the album Rumours because during the recording they were all keeping diaries and probably writing about each other. Stevie Nicks kept taking more and more cocaine to keep up with the hectic schedule until she lost her voice. Nicks reportedly bought $1 million worth of cocaine and it burned a hole in her nose the size of a dime.
Yuck. How big's a dime?
About the size of a Chinese coin.
Rumours that she... This is from the Daily Mail, so I don't know how true this is. But rumours spread that she had to have the drug blown up her derriere by an assistant.
By an assistant. No assistant is getting paid enough
I don't know.
to blow coke up your ass.
They're pretty rich at this time.
Yeah. And, yeah, well, I mean, it feels like that's a one-person job anyway. Do you need an assistant for that?
How are you going to blow it up your ass?
Yeah, come on.
A
Matt.
long straw.
Try.
Oh, you just get a length of hose.
How healthy is your lungs?
Just get it.
Is your lungs?
What? He's talking about a bendy straw.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like I'm an idiot, David.
You're a fool.
I'm not a fool.
You've wasted all that money on your assistant. Matt and I are blowing our own drugs up our own asses.
Yeah. And sometimes up each other's.
Yeah, that really saves.
So you're helping each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still 2 asses, 2 lots of drugs, 2 lots of lungs.
Oh, I'm sure the assistant's getting some as well.
Oh, okay.
Now in her 70s, she no longer takes cocaine.
Oh,
should say.
congratulations
But
to Stevie
for a
Nicks.
long time, it really dominated her life.
And it's an expensive habit, obviously. $1 million. And that's back in 70s prices.
in the 70s and the 80s. It's crazy. Rumours was finally released in February 1977 and was an instant success. It stayed at the top of the Billboard 200 for 31 non-consecutive weeks.
Wow.
While also reaching number 1 in the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. It won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year. The big Grammy.
Because they often fuck that up. Like in hindsight, the Grammys, they'll won't give it to an album that stands the test of time. So that's...
Yeah, they actually gave it to probably the best album of that year.
Yeah, well done.
All 3 major US trade publications at the time, which were Billboard, Cashbox, and Record World, named it their Album of the Year 1977. By March, a little over a year later, after it had been released, the album had sold over 10 million copies worldwide, including 8 in the US alone. It has now sold over 40 million copies worldwide and is the 5th best-selling album of all time in the USA, the 11th best-selling album in the UK, and about the 8th best-selling album ever worldwide. Mick Fleetwood describes it as the most important album we ever made because it allowed us to continue recording for years to come. This lineup of the band stayed together for 3 more albums: Tusk, Mirage, and Tango in the Night.
Do they still hate each other though?
They had a bit of shit to sort out, yeah, but they all sort of moved on and married other people.
That's so great. I love it when people can figure it out. That's kind of nice, even though it's obviously awful.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they were able to figure their stuff out.
Yeah, I guess so.
These next 3 albums were very successful in their own right, but nothing could ever match Rumours. They're currently on a world tour right now, with Christine McVie back after retiring from live touring in 1998. So she took 20 years off. But Lindsey Buckingham was kicked out of the band before the tour and is currently suing them.
Who was kicked out just before this tour?
Yeah, and he's been replaced by Neil Finn from Split Enz and Crowded House and Mike Campbell, formerly of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So it took 2 people to replace him. And Fleetwood Mac, to this day, have sold over 100 million albums worldwide.
100 million.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Actually, that should be records worldwide because that counts singles as well. But over 100, making them one of the best-selling acts of all time.
Incredible.
Yeah, but what an absolutely crazy story.
So what, they're in their 70s now?
Yeah, they're in the 70s and they're still touring and still selling out massive arenas.
It must be exhausting.
But so who remains in the band then?
So everyone except for
Everyone
Lindsey
except-
Buckingham. So they've
really?
got Stevie Nicks,
Huh.
Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie. Still kept her name even though she married someone else.
So, and they've been divorced for so long.
Over 40 years.
She's married to someone else and she's still in a band with her ex-husband.
She said that she now thinks of him like a brother.
Oh, gross.
Well, it was like an ex from so long ago. It would feel like that,
Okay,
right?
yeah, but just say best friend. Like, don't go brother, you know?
Okay.
Like, we know what you used to do.
Right. I
Don't
see.
do that with your siblings.
That makes sense.
Yucky.
So many rules
Yeah,
with you, Jess.
I got a lot of rules.
Don't cry. Don't incest.
Don't
What
incest.
next?
Just a fun side note to bring 2 topics together. Christine McVie from 1979 to 1982 was engaged to Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys, who's the one that died, but also the one
that died.
The one that died young. And the only surfer, and also the one that hung around with Charles Manson that you talked about on the Charles Manson
yeah.
episode. So she was engaged to him for 3 years.
It's a long engagement.
Yeah, lock it down. Set a date, you crazy kids.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the fact that you're putting it off so long.
Maybe there's a sign.
Yeah. We should do a relationship advice column.
Yeah. Let's start a blog.
Should we start a blog?
I think so.
Yes.
I think you should.
Send your questions.
To locked bag. Oh, but that's it. That is the end of Rumours.
What a great story. I knew there were relationship troubles and it was a huge album, but that's all I knew.
Yeah, all I knew was that thunder only happens when it's raining.
Which is untrue.
Oh.
Yeah, thunder can happen without rain.
Absolutely. It's
Who
called
wrote that one? Idiot. An idiot
Stevie
did.
Nicks. I'd like to tell you that there's a thing called dry thunder.
So Stevie Nicks is still in the band.
That's what he calls his balls.
Yes.
I can't believe it. All but one, and he only just got booted.
Yeah, that's right. So
Why do they boot him?
it has not been.
Artistic differences.
It hasn't been actually stated why. He says that he just got kicked out of the band, and they're a bit like, oh, I don't know.
Weird.
That's a bit sad. They've got over so much. What could it have been?
I know. And then I looked at the set list, and they're still playing his songs too. So
That'd be brutal. Maybe they just really wanted Neil Finn in there.
Why not? I love Neil Finn. He's
Neil
great.
Finn was like, hey, can I be in your band? They're like, Neil Finn, we love you. Sure. Lindsay, you're out. Oh, what?
Neil's in. We got Neil.
Oh, fair enough.
Everyone loves Neil.
Can you say hi to Neil for me?
Oh, Neil's great. Dave, that was a great report. Well done.
Thank you so much. And that, I believe, completes the triptych of music episodes, spanning the genres, spanning the eras, the decades. We had Rihanna, Tism,
Yeah.
and now Fleetwood Mac.
Beautiful. A thing of absolute beauty. Well done.
Bringing, the Rihanna theme. Rihanna and Rhiannon. Huh?
Wow, yeah.
Huh? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
you're right.
Done.
Rihanna.
Can I just say you've
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon.
you've done it again?
You are incredible.
He has done it again.
Wow.
Can you-
Another stellar report.
Rhiannon. Rhiannon.
There
Are
we
you
go.
combining Rihanna, Rhiannon, and
Rosanna.
Rosanna? That is some great work.
God, he is talented, isn't he?
Thank you.
He can do it all.
I bless the rains down in Rihanna. But that does bring us to the end of the report section of the podcast, but there's still yet time.
There's always time for our favourite part of the show, which is where we spend a little bit of time getting to know our Patreon.
That's right.
I haven't had a Simpsons reference, and that just reminded me of and now for my favourite part of the show, this is Krusty the Clown. Talk to the audience. Oh, God. This is always death.
What I love about that the most is that we've done multiple Simpsons references this episode.
What have we done?
Jiminy Jellicas.
Oh, yeah. Matt, they're just conversational.
So this week's Fact, Quote, or Question. Fact, Quote, or Question is a segment where we take one of our Patreon supporters who is on the Sydney Scheinberg level on Patreon, and they get to send in a fact, a quote, or a question, and also give themselves a title. This week in the Fact, Quote, or Question game, I guess. Is this a game?
Segment?
Segment, thank you. It is Chloe Warren, her first time.
Welcome, Chloe.
Welcome. It's a safe space, Chloe.
Yeah.
She's given herself the title of Vice Sub-Deputy Chief Scientist of the show.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, we need one of those, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank God.
That's been a vacant position for quite a while.
We had to advertise for months.
Yep. And she has given, this is probably the rarer of the three options, she's given us actually, I'd say the vast majority are questions, and she has given us a fact.
Ooh, I love a fact because I don't have to think of an answer.
Yes. But you can be awestruck.
Yeah, I love being awestruck.
Can we say true or false, but always just say true?
Yeah. Okay, true or false?
Okay, hit me.
This is from the Vice Sub-Deputy Chief Scientist of the show.
Matt reading it for the first time. Here we go.
Yeah, I should say for new people to the show, I don't screen these in any way. Many genes get their name from the phenotype, i.e. physical characteristics, which arise when the gene is mutated. When researchers discovered a gene which caused the common fruit fly, bracket, Drosophila melanogaster, close bracket, to grow an arrangement of spines along its axis, they dubbed the gene Sonic Hedgehog. I love scientists.
Well, there you go. True.
I'm
say
going to
that one.
say, I don't know. Nah, I'm going to go with Dave. True.
It is true.
Hey!
It's got a little bit of a false feel to me.
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit.
And can I just say that Chloe proved that she is the scientist of the show
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, we needed her.
Quite a few of those words I do not understand.
I didn't understand anything you said until Sonic the Hedgehog.
Obviously pronounce them all spot on.
Obviously.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Chloe. That's great. Sonic the Hedgehog. Is that a game you guys ever played? I was a Nintendo boy. I had a Super Nintendo.
I played a little Sonic at friends' houses, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was a social Sonic player.
Yeah.
I dabbled in
I'm
Sonic.
not addicted.
Yeah. Could give up whenever I wanted to.
Yeah. I never thought that Sonic could take over my life. And yet it did.
That's very nice. Thanks so much, Chloe. Thank you so much for your support. And also, another thing we like to do with our Patreons is shout out a few and give them a big thank you. And we also, along with the thank you, we also just organise a little bit of a game to play.
I think we should use their surnames to make a band name.
Okay, great.
Oh, great. Well, okay, is it possible, because we shout out to two people each, that we combine the two
Yeah,
to
I
make
reckon.
it?
I think
that's real nice. So we got to pick out which half and which full. You take one full and one half.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, great.
Like a
okay.
Fleetwood and because Max, I mean, Mick V is not even a Mac. So you can transform it a little bit. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Okay,
And-
little bit of transformation.
Yeah, come on, just a little bit of your own.
And then we give them a divisive role in the band. Are they the druggie? Are they the boner?
Great.
Are they the one who dangles fake balls at the cover?
Or,
Well,
Other.
yeah.
I'd love to thank, firstly, a couple of key members of this new band. Firstly, from Putnam Valley in New York, it's Adam Giambattista.
Oh.
Adam
wow.
Giambattista.
Plenty to work with in that too.
That's a beautiful name. From Putnam Valley as well, I like that. In New York.
Putnam, I reckon they probably say.
Putnam. Right.
knows?
Does English say Putnam in London? So this would be Putnam.
I think so. Who knows? I could be
Don't you
wrong.
love culture?
I love culture.
I love getting a little bit of culture.
I love
And I
culture.
feel like we just got a little bit of culture now.
Is one of the characters in the Crucible Putnam?
Maybe, yeah.
Goody Putnam, maybe?
Maybe. Oh, I fucking hated all those goodies.
Yeah, that was so good.
Goody Proctor?
Sucked. Goody Proctor sucked. Ugh. Anyway,
So Adam Giambattista, which I love that name as well. It's a great surname.
and who else is in Adam's band?
And also from Australia. So this is a multi-continental group
Yeah.
from Mossman in New South Wales. Dominic O'Kelly.
Ooh.
O'Kelly. I feel like maybe OK Giambattista or something like O'Kelly OK.
Oh, okay.
Or it could be Dominic O'Kelly. Doc Batista. Look, Dave.
Doc Batista's cool.
That sounds good, Doc
Doc
Batista.
Batista.
They sound like a reggae group.
Yeah. Or like a funk-infused band.
Or a reggae group.
I reckon funk. Doc Batista.
You guys are already going to split this band up, but it's this creative tension.
What
Yeah, that's
kind of
right.
music do they play, Matt?
Doc Batista. That's a funk lord.
I reckon they're a scat band. They're scatting all over the place.
You are
two.
spineless.
So they play
That
jazz.
you won't
Yeah.
choose between
Yeah.
one of us.
Dominic only has a butt.
Grow a spine like that Sonic the Hedgehog fly, you
Yeah.
dog.
See, we learn.
So you two, I reckon, make up the other. Maybe the three of us all fill out the 5 members.
Oh, so we're now joining 3 new bands.
Yes.
I'm happy for that.
Sick.
I got time. I got
Yeah.
time.
So I reckon Adam's on drums. Doc is front man.
Yeah, big time.
I'm back in the pocket on the bass. Jess is, I reckon, dancing and singing.
No.
Singing and dancing.
Bagpipes.
Dave on the pipes.
Every
Golden
band.
Golden tonsils on the
Oh,
golden
God.
pipes.
Such a beautiful instrument, isn't it?
So
Oh,
beautiful.
It can be.
May I thank some people / former band?
Please.
Please.
Thank you. I would like to thank, from also New South Wales, Fairy Meadow
Whoa, that's the name?
in New South Wales.
Oh, okay. It's a beautiful
Quite
sounding.
a vanilla name in comparison, to be honest. I'd like to thank Christopher Taylor.
Oh, that is a good
Beautiful name.
Chris
But
Taylor.
if your name was Fairy Meadow, Matt would have been a lot more impressed.
That's true.
Chris Taylor. Thank you, Chris.
Do you think it's Chris Taylor from The Chaser?
Probably.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks so much for your support.
I think
Chris
that would
Taylor.
make sense.
That's why he has not given us his address, but instead a locked box.
Yeah.
Smart.
Maybe it's good stuff. Imagine that. Chris, you were always my favourite.
This is interesting because we had an American and an Australian. Now we've got the same. We've got Chris from New South Wales and from Buffalo in New York,
Oh, Bill.
Elijah Jimison.
Oh, Jimison. That sounds like I'm making up a name at the moment. Jimison, I'm sure I've used as a great name.
What I love about this is we've teamed up 2 people from New York with 2 people from New South Wales.
Yeah.
Rather than put the 2 people from New York into a band together.
No,
It can't be done.
can't be done.
Elijah Jimison. Oh, that's a fantastic name.
That's
We're
so
a band of the world. So we've already formed Doc Batista. What's this new band called,
good. I
Bopper?
want to use Jimison,
Jimison feels good.
right?
Well, could you have something and son? 'Cause
Oh.
that's always, that always sounds quite cool, I
yeah,
reckon.
nice.
Taylor and son.
Yeah, Taylor and Son,
Taylor and Son.
like Mumford and Son.
Yeah.
Taylor and Son.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
assume they're related.
And Chris is playing what instrument?
Chris is on the banjo.
Yep.
Bing, 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 bing.
Elijah, though, is on percussion, not just drums, all sorts of different percussion.
Bongos.
Bongos,
Timpani.
timpani.
Oh, yeah. I love that timpani sound.
Sometimes he just puts one of those big marching drums on front of him and just bangs away at that. He also has that Irish drum.
Yep.
for a
Upside
bit
down
too.
ice cream containers.
Yeah, he does it all.
The thing with the beer bottle caps on it.
Yeah.
From the Bush band.
I didn't tell you to stop.
And what are we playing?
I think we've got the same. For efficiency, I'm
Bagpipe.
not learning multiple instruments.
Oh, okay. We're the same instruments in all of
but
them.
we're playing with different genres.
Sure, of course.
Right, so
So
before
the first band was scat.
funk.
So the first band was
Reggae.
scat, funk, reggae. What's this band?
I'll let Jess have the honours on this one. What?
Oh, gee, thank you so much. I'll say mine first and then you can just jump on shit all over it.
All right, come on.
No, this won't be a scat band.
They are a prog
Disco?
rock bush band.
Oh, that is good. Well, I mean, we've got
makes sense.
the beer bottle cap.
Exactly.
And we've got the bagpipes, which
Yeah.
it's one of those instruments that can just slot into any genre without people really noticing it.
Yeah, imagine trying to have one of those beer can beer bottle things
Lager phones.
Yes, that's what it's called.
in any other type of band, you'd look like an idiot.
You would. Some would say you look like an idiot even in a bush band.
I was confusing the lager phone with a clay jug, whatever.
Never ever stop in the middle of a hoedown.
Okay, well, that's a great band name, Taylor and Son, aka Jimison's Airplane.
I would like to thank, if I could,
Of course.
thank you so much. From Spearfish, fantastic name already.
Amazing.
I'm on board early.
I want to use that in the band.
Yeah.
South Dakota.
Okay.
Have we had a South Dakotan before?
South Dakota. Let me look up a quick
South
fact as you keep going.
Dakotian.
Is South Dakota, is that... I think that might be Mount Rushmore.
It is.
Oh, I've always wanted to go. I really want to go.
Oh, wow. Looks like everything's cool. Wind Cave National Park. There's a photo of a bison.
And who are we thanking?
We'd like to thank Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln, all pitching in $2.50 each a month. Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to thank, from Spearfish, South Dakota, Paige McFeely.
that is a sick
Yeah.
name.
That is a sick bass player's name, I reckon.
All right.
McFeely on bass.
They've
Sorry.
bumped me out of my spot. Or we could be double bass.
Oh,
we both
definitely.
play the double
Dueling
bass.
Dueling basses. Dung, 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 dung. Thank you so much, McFeely. And we're going to pair you up. Not with someone from New South Wales, not from someone from America, but someone from Oslo in Norway.
Oh,
Amazing.
Yeah, great.
And as you know, I don't speak Norwegian.
No.
And
Did not know that.
I can't get no respect. So let me try my best to say thank you from Oslo in Norway, Oystein Espedal.
I
do
mean,
you think they'd say it with like a strong
Oystein.
Australian accent?
I'm
Oystein.
confident. I think we've met this person.
Oh.
We have met some great Norwegians in London.
I think this is
And
one
in
of
Birmingham
them.
as well. We met some.
Oystein Espedal.
And I'm confident he said his name so many times and I tried so many times.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's something like Weston.
Nah, it wasn't even.
Was it Oystein?
It
Oi,
was,
Oi.
Stein.
it was Oystein, yes.
Espadel.
Oh, well, I think I can combine. What about McFeely Spedal?
Oh, yeah.
That
that's-
sounds like a cool name.
Both of those. What a fantastic. Paige McFeely. I cannot get over how good that is. I've seen that name around, admittedly, around the Patreon world.
Have you ever seen the name Espedal?
I don't think I've ever heard of an Espedal, but I love that name.
McFeely Spedal. I think that sounds like a good name.
McFeely Spedal.
And
Yeah.
so Paige McFeely, I think, has got to be on bass as well. So we've got two bass players. What is Oystein playing?
I think the rains, you know,
Oh, okay.
just sort of controlling the weather.
Wow.
Yeah. Sort of like a sight and sound show.
So it could be a really good show. It could be like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Just two bass players playing.
Well, no, I mean, you're still in the band as well.
Oh, so of course bagpipes.
Bagpipes still
But
there.
it's just such
Jess
an,
is dancing and singing.
bagpipes is such an unnoticeable instrument, as I said. You
But-
barely notice it.
Wait, either way, they're controlling the weather. So they're going to bring down rain in the sad songs, which Jess hates. And she's furiously dancing during those songs. She hates it when the sky
Trying to stop.
cries.
You are not singing in the rain, but you are dancing in the rain.
She's doing a sad jig, which
An
I've never heard
angry-
of before.
It's an angry jig.
Looks like a glum jig to me.
How's his face not angry? Look at these eyebrows.
Are you okay?
They are angry.
Yeah,
Are
those
you
are
not too angry?
I've never felt it before because that would be an emotion.
You've never felt anything, let's be honest.
No, I'm numb. Once again, everybody, therapy.
It helped you become numb,
Yeah.
which is a truly enlightened state. If you don't feel anything, you never feel bad. Let's be honest.
That's a good point. Yeah, good neutral.
Yeah.
But thanks to all our fantastic Patreon supporters, and those three bands will be coming to a festival near you soon.
I think we're going to make our own festival, headlined by Brown Hornet.
Weed Hornet.
Weed
please.
Hornet.
Though for legal reasons, because we can't get Rowan back, we'll have to call it Brown Hornet.
Why can't
Okay,
you get
great.
Rowan back? Why do I keep going to say Ronan? I think it's Ronan Keating. Was Ronan Keating in your
Yeah,
band?
that's why we won't be able to get
It's
him back.
amazing how you can see. What? Was that good?
Yep.
Why'd you start laughing?
I love that so much.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's one of the worst songs of all time. But you almost turned me around on it.
Oh, come on. There's worse songs than that, isn't there?
The smile on your face
Oh.
lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand, touch my hand, makes me... I forgot the words.
Says you'll catch me.
Says you'll catch me.
Whenever I fall. Line. And then
You say it best when you say nothing at all.
key change. The smile on your face.
Let me know that you need me. I used to be able to play that on piano.
Really?
Yeah.
You used to be great.
What? You love it now.
Yeah, jeez, I just never thought I would. But
You're welcome.
Holy moly.
Hey, let's get the fuck out of here.
That does bring us to the end of the show. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening, supporting, subscribing, reviewing on iTunes and other platforms. That is very, very nice. Suggesting to friends. Sometimes we tweet out the episode or put it on Instagram if people, or a Facebook for that matter, and people tag their friends saying, hey, you should check out this show.
Very nice.
That actually does help get us new listeners and spread the word. So, yeah, you can find us on all those social media platforms at DoGoOnPod or DoGoOnPod@gmail.com.
Are we a cult in a way?
Yeah, we're a cult. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Hard as a feather, stiff as a board.
666.
666.
That's my pin number, 666. Because I had to have a fourth one, I chose 6 again.
Yeah.
Quadruple 6. It's the number of the devil. Plus 6.
Well, really plus 6,000, but you were the mathematician. Weren't you?
Depends where you put the 6.
He's putting it at the end.
For me, it goes 6. My 6, then the other 2 6s.
Okay.
So it's very confusing. So yeah, pin number 6. No, it's 6 6 6 6.
It's a little less evil when you put it like that.
No. I'd consider changing it, but it's just too hard.
Yeah.
It's too hard to change that 6.
Put the sixes around.
Too hard. I have to call up my bank. I mean, they won't even respect me and put Mr. on my credit card. Fucking 28 years old Master David Warner.
Well, that's why, because you're the master of darkness.
The Master of Darkness, David Warnicky. Thank you. Appreciate my band giving me.
People do want to get in contact with us. We're at Do Go On Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I think.
I have already covered those ones, but you know what I haven't covered?
YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube.com/Do Go On Pod.
And our website, Matt. What's that?
DoGoOnPod.com and our Patreon, patreon.com/Do Go On Pod. So it's pretty much Do Go On Pod. It should get you in the right.
Type Do Go On Pod into anything.
Especially, the website. That links to everything, I'm pretty sure.
And then 666 6.
The number of the beast. And 6.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, I'll say you can go your own way. Goodbye.
Laters.
Bye. Bow, 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 bow.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you. Yeah. 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 Yeah.